On this episode of the Star Wars Time Show, Matt and Nick will honor those Star Wars characters who probably celebrate 420. Bong! In all seriousness, they will guide you through the latest round of Star Wars news and rumors, including more fuel to the Crosshair Breaks Bad prediction they made, as well as the fact that a Battlefront 3 announcement could be nigh. They'll also talk about a potential rival gang leader in Book of Boba, as well as the notion that Rian Johnson wants to try out some Star Wars TV. As long as they aren't executed for that last topic, they'll also riff on another Kenobi set leak. And of course, Matt will drool over the latest round of new Star Wars collectibles, including a must-have Hot Toys live-action Ahsoka and the new TCW Black Series figs. Of course, they'll end with the fan segment by updating the Marvel v Star Wars battle bracket, responding to fan responses while also making fun of them, and honoring this week's top 5 Star Wars fan artist features. Punch it, Chewie!
Hey, now everybody! Welcome to... See, I caught myself this week, Nick. Welcome to instead of welcome back. All right? I really need to work on that because as we have decided, my intro was rather moronic, at least if you break down the English sentence that I speak. Because you can't welcome someone back to a brand new something. But we can welcome them to a brand new episode of the Star Wars Time Show. That's right, we're doing it on 420 Fake Earth Day, whatever you want to call it, Weed Day. Yes, at one point in time, Nick, in college, I wrote an English paper on the origins of 420 and how it became ingrained in weed culture. So you can probably guess what I was up to.
Matt was
back in those days.
He was riding the dragon during the writing of that essay.
It was it was a perfect class too, because my English teacher, you could tell, was a full-on hippie. And this was like real college English. Like it wasn't just a one-page. Like you had to write the paper, you had to interview people, and the topic I chose was the origins of 420 and how it relates to marijuana culture. I guess we should refer to it by its legal name, or cannabis, its scientific name.
Cannabis.
So happy 420 to those of you out there that partake in the green good. Life is good when it is green. If you believe in a God, he made that shit grow out of the earth, or she did. So but you can't really knock it.
Yeah,
booze is not natural, although we love it. It is not natural, but the green is. So we speak your name, 420, and we have like a little bit to go on 420 in Star Wars, but we'll get to that in a bit. On a 420, we should try to be peaceful and mindful of the living force. But the first thing I want to rant about today, it's not really one of our topics. Doesn't really coincide with that mantra, Nick, because I was watching, I'm doing my Clone Wars chronological, okay? We're midway into season 4 now, where they actually did start to deliver the episodes in a chronological order. But they're still, it looks like I am going to get out of place towards the end of 4. But anyways, I'm in the middle of 4, watching it with the family, sitting there and processing this. It was a three episode arc, and the arc I'm referring to is when I believe it's GK, Anakin, and Ahsoka, and they go to this planet where there's other Togrutas, and the Togrutas get kidnapped by Zygerian slavers. Okay. So that's essentially the first episode. The second episode, the Jedi go to Kadava, or whatever planet these people were enslaved at, to try and free them. And here's where things really start to get fucking stupid, in my opinion. And yes, I understand it's science fiction. Yes, I understand it's a kid's cartoon. But I can't tell you how dumb this 3-episode arc truly is. if you just sit there and think about what is happening to some of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. All right. So Nick, by episode 2, they go to this planet. Kenobi's enslaved, lets himself get locked up, puts a slave collar on him. He's getting beat down. Other people, the other slaves are getting beat down in front of him. I believe people are even getting killed in front of him. He's doing nothing.
Wow.
Doing nothing. He's maintaining his cover. So you're starting to think like, what the fuck? Like, is this energy necklace force resistant? Why? How could a Jedi master let himself get, even if it is like undercover, just the shit he was letting happening, a Jedi would not let happen. So that was the first thing.
There weren't even any ray shields around.
Thank you. Because we know Jedi are smarter than that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Anakin, like, he's playing a slaver, which I kind of like. That was a cool idea. You take the only slave, and like the famous slave in Star Wars, and make him play a slaver. He's obviously going to have a hard-on for slave traders, so you know things are going to get wonky. And they do. He ends up getting found out, and he becomes essentially the personal slave of the Queen of Kadavo, of the Zygerians, or whatever. So now you have Anakin fucking Skywalker, the chosen one, not able to save anyone because he is locked up himself, or he is being constrained by this queen of the slave traders. And while this is happening, he allows Ahsoka to get captured due to their ruse. So now she's sitting in a cage with the same electric necklace that Kenobi's wearing. All right. So we have 3 of the most powerful and famous Jedi of all time. Not even that era, right? Of all time. Kenobi, Skywalker, Tano. She still was a Jedi at this point.
Yes.
Nick, it's like the whole second episode, they're just getting abused like they're you and me. Like they're just regular schmoes. Like they have no fucking connection to the Force, okay?
I'm trying to like think of a reason why they would subject themselves to that. Is it like, I mean, for Kenobi, I could see it because he's like, man, the only way that I could really get out of here is I would have to like kill my way out. And maybe he wouldn't want to do that because he's like one of those, you know, those walk the line Jedi. I'm not going to,
of course.
You know, no violence, don't kill people.
It was, they were trying to do some undercover, but still, if you're undercover and you know by yourself, you could probably take out every fucking guard.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill them. You know, force push them around, mind trick them.
Incapacitate something, and it's not even like a cage can hold a Jedi. Like a jail cell is not going to hold a Jedi. You can literally just push the fucking gate off.
Thank you. You're starting to understand my frustration. So yeah, they're locked up like Kingdom of Weird saying in the live chat. Maybe, you know, Kenobi was getting his kink on. I don't know, but Nick, I'm telling you, by the end of the second episode, shit's dire. Like Kenobi looks mentally broke. Yeah, like he's no longer undercover. Like they know he's a Jedi. They're just fucking with him. Like they are breaking him mentally. So I'm sitting here going, what the fuck is going on, Kenobi? Just be Kenobi. So we get into episode 3, where shit's really hitting the fan. It's so bad that the Jedi on Coruscant are like, you know what? We probably should send a fucking expedition there to save these assholes who got themselves in trouble, because apparently the 3 strongest Jedi, or close to, can't fucking handle themselves anymore against slavers that put electric collars on their necks. So not only is their ruse fucking them up, they're involving the damn Republic now. I believe it was Plo. I don't know if May showed up, but like they're sending other masters to go help out this failed plan. And here's where shit just it confirms that these 3 episodes are kind of ridiculous. Maybe Filoni was on LSD. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Lucas was doing the writing. It makes no sense, because here's where shit you're just like, what? So maybe it's halfway into the 3rd episode, the final episode of this arc. Kenobi just is like, okay, I'm going to force pop my collar off. He fucking could do it the whole time!
Then he's just figured it out. He's like, oh, wait, I'm a Jedi.
You get it. I mean, I know, you know, I kind of over exaggerate things on the show because I don't just want to be a monotone, Star Wars fan podcaster. But the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, hey, you can ask my wife. By the 2nd episode, I'm looking at her like, what the fuck is this? Like, you can't keep a Jedi in a cage with a fucking electric necklace. Don't they know about the Force? And sure as shit, Nick, it's not like anything changed. He's just like, oh, there you go. Hello there. And it just pops it off. And then guess who does the same thing? Ahsoka in a fucking cage. She's like, oh yeah, guess what? I'm a Jedi. I can pop this off with the Force. And then she gets free. And then Anakin gets free. And you're like, why did you do this at the fucking get-go?
This was one of the times where they were really short on story ideas, and they were just like, "We got to make this last." It was
crazy, man. I mean, come on,
it can't be one.
Like I said, I understand it's a kids' cartoon, it's science fiction, yada yada yada. Don't take it so seriously, Neil deGrasse Tyson. But please, I mean, just basic story. It made no sense. It made no sense. Like I could see if the Force collars, had kryptonite or something in them, something to at least let us believe that these, well, two of them, I mean, one's the fucking chosen one, the other one is the chosen one's instructor, and the other one is the chosen one's pupil. And you're telling me between the three of them, it took them to the third episode to figure out that, oh yeah, we could just do this ourselves instead of having half the fucking Republic come here with the rest of the Jedi Council to help our dumbasses out.
Yeah, that seems like just poor writing.
It's
I don't
insane.
know. Maybe that was like a guest writer came in and Filoni wasn't consulting on that episode. He took a vacation week.
Dude, it was
and he's like, yeah, don't worry. Jim's got this one. It's an easy 3-episode arc. You don't have to do anything outlandish. Just make it to where it lasts 90 minutes ish, 70 minutes.
So for those of you following along, if you want to kind of check these out on Disney Plus to see if I truly am crazy and I'm giving myself an aneurysm for no reason, the episodes are season 4, episode 12, so Slaves of the Republic. The middle one is episode 13, Escape from Kadavo, and the last one is I believe a friend. No, I'm sorry. The last one is Escape from Kadavo. But just listen to the write-up here, Nick. Just to show you. All right. They infiltrate the slaver planet of Zygeria, only to be captured by its ambitious queen, who plots to rebuild her empire of oppression. Now, even Obi-Wan Kenobi must come to terms with a life in chains. I told you, like, he was literally mentally broke. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, fuck. We're smarter than this.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And he pops the shit off. He fucking pops it off.
The only thing that I can think of is like there was a hidden subtext in there that they were like their minds were being fucked with and they didn't like realize that they had their powers still. Like I don't know how you have two full episodes where Jedi forget that they can use their powers, and then in the third one they're just like.
It was insane. It was insane. So I misspoke. It's episode 11, 12, and 13 of season 4. I still love it. Man. I mean, it's still Clone Wars. It's Star Wars, but it's the first time watching Star Wars, I really had a head scratch moment. Like, what are they trying to fucking pull here? Like, do they think I'm this fucking stupid? I mean, you'd have to ask Heather. I mean, I was in a tizzy, Nick. This is Friday night. We're out on the deck. We got a fire going. TV's outside. We're enjoying life, drinking some beer. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? This isn't real.
Oh, man.
So there you go.
Yeah. Not every one of them can be bangers.
There you go. It's been a while since I've done a chronological update, so I wanted to throw that at you. It was vintage crazy Matt, and I tend to like to bring those stories to the show. So there you go. Check them out for me. Let me know if I am crazier than I need to be. Like I said, it's 4.11, .12, and .13. That's the arc right there. There are some good moments. Like I said, Anakin kind of touching on his slave past, and that's where you get to see the Anakin we should have saw in the live action. Like you can see how fucking angry he is at the idea of slave trading. Like he just wants to kill all these Ygarians. That's who we like. That's who should have been in there, not no, I need him. What have I done? So that's fun, fun with chronological Clone Wars. Next, just kind of casual update. And I'm doing this because A, I'm a customer, and B, we had Mike on the show. which in turn has led to some of you asking us questions about GTP toys as if we are their customer service. We are not. But because I did pre-order their Tantive 4 set, again, they made 1/6 scale Tantive 4 set that's been blessed by the mouse and Lucasfilm. It's all official. And apparently shit's not been going well at GTP Toys. They have not been responding to customers, which is why customers have been asking us, like, hey, can you poke them, ping them? What's going on? But Mike from GTP did send out a pretty heartfelt note, I believe it was yesterday or Monday, just to kind of let everyone know what the fuck's going on, why they've gone silent in the state of the Tantive 4 set. So I'm not going to read the whole email, but in summary, his brother quit.
Oh, wow.
So that's literally, imagine running a 2-person company where the company quits. Yeah, where the one person did a lot of the designing and shit, and that person leaves right in the middle of a huge next step where they actually got official licensing and they got the deals done. They're selling this Tantive 4 1/6 scale diorama set. But his brother left, and you can tell I don't think it sat well with Mike, because this is where he says John has left GTP to do something profitable. So clearly Mike is not having a good time with GTP. I think this experience, having to put the space walls to bed because of the mouse and then getting in with the mouse, I think it's kind of killed his soul a bit. Yeah. But he's like, hey, my brother's left to go do something profitable. Good for him. That just reminds me of that Christian Bale soundbite, good for you. Yeah, 1/6 years right. This is 1/12 scale. I'm stupid, not 1/6. But anyways, 1/12 scale Tantive 4 diorama. So one half of the team left. That's one of the reasons why you're not getting a lot of updates or communications, because it sounds like John was more of the social media marketing, customer service type of person. Yeah. So production is delayed on these. It's been delayed. They were expecting stuff in December. They just got them now in April, just to show you that, their supply chain is delayed. It's really nothing they could do. It sounds like most of the parts are coming in now. Within 2 weeks, he should have all of them. But it was really just it was kind of an apology. Like, hey, this is why you haven't been hearing for us. It was unprofessional. It sucked. We blew it, but this is why this happened. So these things are still coming, but because they didn't sell enough, only those that pre-ordered will get these sets. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think this is probably it for GTP. Once they get these out and they fulfill their commitments, I have a feeling just between the mouse and the partnership breaking down, that the company may not exist much longer. Which is a bummer, but hey, real business ain't easy. That's why I commend anyone that takes that leap to start a business. I mean, there are times where I sit back at 30-year-old Matt, and I'm like, if you would have just had the balls to fully run with your website stuff and your gaming media stuff, maybe you would be doing that instead of hedging it and still working full-time jobs and not, completely taking that gamble. So I do applaud them for that. I know writing this email probably sucked as a business owner, that you weren't doing customer service correctly, but it was nice to get that update. So if you did pre-order, you're going to get your stuff. When you're going to get it, I think you still just have to be patient, but you will never be able to get these again. The Tantive 4 1/12 scale diorama seems like it's going to be a pre-order run only due to a lack of interest from collectors.
Yeah, that's upsetting, because we, from that podcast, we know how much Mike put into the business and put into Space Walls, and then how hard it was to have to go through everything with Disney and then getting the licensing, and then having this happen. It does seem like there may not be green pastures ahead for GTP toys.
Disney cut their knees out, and I don't blame. I mean, hey, if you create something, you own the license, that's what you get to do. Love it or hate it, look at it as greedy, but I'm pretty sure any one of us, if we had a great idea and we had the license and the trademarks and the patents and we could make money off of it, we wouldn't want people scraping our ideas and making money off of it too. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame all around. I mean, I guess I'm glad I got it in because now it's almost going to be a fucking collector's item at this point. It may be highly coveted because I don't think there's going to be many. But yeah, it sounds like it. And this is my summation. I'm not speaking for GTP. We're not official spokespeople. I just, from the tone of the email and just knowing business and dollars and how shit works in real life, I don't think they're going to have much of a market presence after this, and that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, Tones in the chat says he mentioned something else coming soon, something special in an Instagram post that he put up. So, I mean, maybe they are continuing to work with Disney. So we'll see in the future. But as for the 112 scale Tantive 4, like Matt mentioned, it's a
done
no longer
deal.
Able to get that.
If you didn't get it during the pre-order, it's over. So I'll make sure to take some nice static shitty shots for everybody if it ever shows up. Although I put out a shot. See, this is why I like it, basically telling everyone I suck. Because when I do post something that looks like I put even a little bit of effort into Instagram, they tend to coddle me now. They're like,
oh, it's
no,
so
they're like,
good,
it's like Scion and Liam. It's the regulars, like the true fans. They're like, oh, look, Matt, you actually like composed a scene. You're growing up, big boy. I love it. I'm like, hey, they do listen to me, and they do know I'm a little whiny pussy.
Hey, man, that is a good little scene you threw together there in that most recent shot. So there you go.
It just, I can't say I had a lot of fun doing it. It's a shot of the new Boba, which, by the way, if you do melt his head, it is a good looking Boba Black Series figure. But I'm telling you, dude, just setting up those scenes, it's not me. I like the portraits, and that's fine. I've come to terms with that. But it does show, like, if you do put the time in, like the people with huge followings, people react. It makes sense. It's like
they'll give you some love.
Yeah, if you put effort into something, believe it or not, Nick, people may respect it. So, I mean, what does that say about our show? I don't know, but
yeah, I know, right? You're clearly.
All right, so I got, before we get into our little 420 fun topic here, I got a comment, Nick. I know I said I wanted to keep the bullshit segment short so far within our window, but I have to just keep stumping for this game. Outriders. Yes. It may have stumbled out of the gate with that one day of wonky server issues, but I'm telling you, ever since then, People Can Fly has kept that thing running. And my God, is it one of the greatest, just pure co-op looter shooters of all time. It's finally starting to get some of the buzz in the media. It's like, I don't know, for some reason, this game just is not getting its balls sucked as much as I think it should. It's reunited me with one of my former gaming buddies, like my buddy Perfected Chaos from the UK. I know we've talked about my Gears of War days and how every day for it seemed like 2 or 3 years I would get on with my cousin Hank the Stuntman, Perfected Chaos, Bane of Fenris, dudes from the UK, and we'd play, we'd shit talk. We've had a fantastic time. I mean, I gamed with these people so much. When I went to London in 2013 for the Steelers game, I met up with them and hung out and like we were boys, you know, like we didn't just only converse through our stupid headsets. Like that's how close, you know, we all realize this in a modern age, how close you actually can get to people through digital platforms. But back to Outriders, it's reintroduced me to my buddy Perfected Chaos, one of my favorite UK Britishmen, or whatever the fuck you call you people over there, Brit.
Wanks.
Yeah, wankers. He's just, I don't know, I love the guy. I mean, I met him, he was fresh out of prison. He's got that type of edge to him. He's fucking, I just fucking love him. But Outriders has brought us back together because I think he heard my dumb ass talking about on this show. He had Game Pass. He's like, why not download it? It's free. Checked it out, and because he gets addicted to games like meth addict shit. Like as soon as you give him a hit of something he likes, he'll go for 12 hours straight, like in a session. So he got hit. He's already beat it. He's already passed me. I've been playing for 2 weeks longer than he has. But it just goes to show you, Outriders is a game that can get under your skin in a good way to where you're always thinking about it. You always want to play. You want to get in. You want to, complete a mission, try to get more loot. Yeah, he's doing some end game content now, and he comes in and helps me. But it's a challenging game. It's a well-made shooter. You get powers mixed in. You can do 3-person co-op or solo. It's not like Destiny where the story is irrelevant. The story is the main game. I mean, if you play everything, you're looking at 80 to 90 hours of content. So I cannot stump for Outriders enough. It really is. If you have an Xbox and you're on Game Pass, do it. It's a no fucking brainer. If you got $50, $60 laying around on any other platform, I also highly recommend it. It is, Nick, I don't know if I'll
say I'll come to it 2 months later.
That's fine. Like you're Mr. Delayed. You're still young. You're like me. You got all the time in the world, or you think you do. But it's approaching Ghost level of love for me. Ghost of Tsushima.
I can tell. You know what I mean, just purely based off of the conversations during the cast, and then like even some, like right when it came out, you just, the messages offline that we're having. I know that it's reaching that level. It's reaching that point to where it's like it's consuming.
Well, I don't know if anyone reads The Escapist. They're like a gaming media digital platform. I think they may even be UK based, but they're usually pretty fucking hardcore. Like they're very critical. Which, hey, great. They're taking this shit seriously. But they ran a headline like, you know what? Outriders is great because it's just a damn good game. Like it doesn't need to be a Destiny. It doesn't need to try Anthem shit or Fortnite shit. It's okay to just make a good old school, single player co-op type of game that doesn't have all these, end game bells and whistles. It's just a damn good game. Yeah.
And I mean, like, I will say that I think one of the reasons that it didn't get as much hubbub and hype as all of the other games of its type, like you mentioned, like Anthem, like because Anthem had a huge
it's the studio, right?
Push and it's the studio because Square Enix
they're the pub, but people can fly as a developer, and they've only done Bulletstorm.
Yeah, but like the publisher is the one that pays your marketing dollars.
Yes. And the only Square Enix is like, fuck you guys, it's not an RPG.
I was gonna say the only thing that Square Enix pays to market Final hardcore Fantasy. And yeah, exactly. Is Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And that's why we've been seeing like Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, like the new episode coming up, has gotten more press than Outriders.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And it's probably because like they were like, yeah, we'll publish it. We'll give you funding to make it. But like this isn't really our bag. Like if you look at Square Enix's history of games, like they're not really like shooter.
No, not at all. I mean, there's definitely some RPG elements to this. You have to pick a class. You're locked in a class, and each class has 3 paths to kind of fill out with class points. But I don't know. It's just it's very challenging. And you know me, everyone. If you're a fan of the Star Wars Time Show, I'm Mr. I want it as easy as possible in my later years of gaming. Not Outriders. I fucking love working on the highest world tier, which sets your difficulty. I love feeling like I'm being chased by the cops all the time. Like it's frantic. It's that Doom Eternal type of feel. Every gun battle, you're like, oh fuck, when is the shit gonna hit the fan? And all the hordes of enemies are gonna be running down, trying to step on my face, gut me, light me on fire while I'm trying to light them on fire. So I don't know, Outriders for life. I would recommend those who've been sitting on the fence to get it now while it's hot and while people are playing, because unless people can fly does a lot of post-release development, which I don't think is in their plans unless they make cash. I could see this game being where, people like myself or Chaos, after we've done all the end game content, maybe this is a game, Nick, and I never do this because I hate redoing shit. But I'm highly considering redoing the whole campaign as a new clash, just to build it out, get different gear, play a different style.
Dude, it really does kind of change the whole experience. I know that the story stays the same, but it's like doing little shit like that from having played MMOs for as long as I have. It's a completely different experience. So I recommend that you do that, just so you have like a different perspective on the game.
And it's just like I said, it's fun. There's not a moment where I'm like, fuck this game. Even when I get my ass kicked 2 or 3 times in a row, I might get angry, I might yell, but I know for a fact that it was my fault. My fault. I didn't play my class the right way for that situation. My guy is squishy as fuck, right? So if I'm going in there like Tommy Tough Guy, like I'm a tank, I'm going to get my ass kicked. And if I keep doing it, that's my fault. I should die. So there you go. I'll get off the Outriders stumping, but I can't say enough positive things about it. Everyone I've recommended it to has agreed with me, which they should because I'm always fucking right. But Outriders for life. I love it. I hope it hits whatever sales goals they need to greenlight a sequel, because I think it's a legit franchise. I just want to see how quick they pull the rug from under the Games Pass people to recoup some game sales. But I'm all about it right now. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. So crossplay enabled too. So it doesn't matter if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation, right. You can play with your friends. I'm not sure if it works with PC.
Well,
I don't know
it does, but I don't know if the patch has come out. It's supposed to work PC to console as well as console to console, but that was one of the issues in a patch that's either coming out last week or this week was going to address that.
Okay, so there you go. If you can get it on any console or system and then play it with your friends regardless. So if you're interested in it, go pick it up, because you could help People Can Fly spawn a sequel for a potentially great franchise.
They deserve it, and I've always loved them. I mean, Epic kind of brought them in. I think they've done, I don't know if they've done work on Gears, but Epic brought them in with Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm's another it's a fucking weird game. It's weird, highly addictive because of the chaining system and the whip gun you use. And it was another one that I spent hours and hours just trying to get achievements and accolades, whatnot. So all right, man, moving on. If you're on the live stream, you see the numbers 420 right now, and that's because today is 420. And in honor of 420, we cooked up a very stupid special topic, which makes sense for 420, right? But I was thinking there, I was like, you know what, Nick, let's just rattle off some Star Wars characters that we think would partake in the 420 holiday. So it's really not a fleshed out segment, as is the case with most things Star Wars Time Show. But I was just sitting there thinking, like, who from Star Wars on 420 would probably sit down and say 420 man, and then take a bong rip or something. One of the first ones up here, I have Chewbacca. I think Chewbacca, Kashyyyk, it's a lush forest planet. They're probably into vegetation and natural things that grow in the ground. So I could see, Chewbacca and the Chewbacca family, the Baccas, cultivating some MJ, rolling some fatties, and lighting them up on 420.
Like for them, it would almost be like tribal. It's like they would almost look at it as like a tribal, the Indian
it's a spirit
tribes,
walk.
The Native American tribes in America, like with peyote and stuff like that. It's not like a medicinal herb. It is a part of your vision quest when you come of age as a Wookiee.
I agree. I agree. I think that's
herbal.
That's a great way to think about how the Wookiees probably handled the 420. I like that the live stream's coming alive, and they actually have picked some of the ones I did. So the next one, Jabba the Hutt, was a no-brainer for me, because we actually see him hitting a bong, I believe, in Return of the Jedi. I mean, he had we could say that's where he kept his frog snacks, but let's be real. It was a water bong. Like the dude straight smoked water bongs when he was sitting on the throne in his palace.
It's true.
I mean, even hold on.
I all saw it.
I have to give me a second here. I'll got to get off. I actually have a bootleg. It's called the Star Bong, and all of you will know exactly what it is. Hold on. This will take like a couple seconds. You probably can still hear me.
Yes, we can still hear you, but
All right,
Matt's going to go give us his Nope, nobody show this to the cops.
All right, so here we go. This comes from Suckadelic. Okay? See it? The Star Bong. And it's literally the accessory from the Kenner Jabba the Hutt that someone has repackaged and called it the Star Bong. Because it is. I mean, it really is a bong. Like it's got the tube that comes out. You can smoke on it. Here's the back right here. Check it. Star Bongs, Suckadelic Star Bongs. Suckadelic's like one of the bigger Star Wars bootleggers. I like the advertising here. Totally for kids. But if you see the art, I mean, Jabba's blowing some huge smoke out of those nostrils. Gives him like a vape mustache. So there you go. So Jabba the Hutt, 100%. Good job, Fandos. Your head is in the gutter with myself.
Good call.
Up next is another one. It looks like our fans pointed out, Yoda. 100% Hobo Yoda. He was fucking high when Luke and R2 showed up. That's why he was talking all goofy, like,
yeah. What is this?
Yeah, he's like, why do you think he was trying to steal Luke's meat sticks?
I was gonna say, he's going through that food. He's like, nope, throwing it away. I mean, trying to find some
let's be real. Yoda was in his hut, hitting the vape pen, because he was already cooking, like he was already getting the munchies. He heard a loud bang. He goes outside. He's like, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. So he's out there, he's smoking fatties while he's watching Luke and R2 get cleaned up, and then they broke out their dinner. He's like, oh shit, man, I forgot. I haven't eaten yet. Look at that meat stick. And he grabs it. Wow. And the other thing, what else does he do? Yoda grabs the light and he's like looking at it like he's at a rave, right? He's like, mine. Okay, so yeah, Yoda 100% is down with the 420. Up next, Qui-Gon Jinn, Master of the Living Force, I would think, smoked himself a little bit of herb.
That may have been how he found out how to commune and live through the Force after death.
Yeah, he hit like some fucking White Widow sour diesel kush and had the epiphany. Like midichlorians started talking to him and they're like, Qui-Gon, you can become one with the living Force. Let go of your corporeal body.
Yeah.
All right.
He literally saw midichlorians. Like he lifted a rock off the ground and he literally saw the midichlorians just picking it up. He's like,
look how long his hair was, the way he wore his hair. I mean, he had the longest hair of the Jedi. I mean, that dude had hair almost going down to his ass crack. He's like Willie Nelson. So Qui-Gon was sitting there talking to trees and squirrels and cardinals, smoking himself some of Jabba's finest. 100%.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to go to the live streams actually kicking in pretty well.
Yeah,
we got Yin Yum. All right, yeah. Super scoundrel because he's always laughing, right? Like, he is right. I mean, Return of the Jedi, basically, they're almost dead. And Lando's like, what the fuck, motherfucker? And he's just sitting there like, the whole fucking time. So, yeah.
I know. And his face is designed to look stoned the whole time.
Permanent smile, Yeah, I get that. Yeah, right before the Battle of Endor, he definitely took a few bong rips before he got on the Falcon there.
100%.
We have Sidious. Sidious, he's a pretty serious
guy. I don't know,
guy.
man. He was so high stress and like he was so just like, I don't think if Sidious was high, you would get like the power. I don't think that would happen.
He's kind of like me when I don't partake. Like he's
like,
he's
if
crazy.
anything, Sidious was like hardcore on coke. Yeah. Like he was just coked up all the time.
Now, Trevor must have missed the Jabba. Trevor, he'll here you go, Trevor. We totally covered Jabba and the hookah. I have the Star Bong toy, so I'm all about Jabba as a smoker. All right, back to my list. Dengar. I mean, any guy that wears toilet paper on his fucking head. He's doing something. He's doing something suspicious, which I assume's other forms of drugs. But I don't know. Dengar strikes me as a guy that smokes some dope,
especially after his when he becomes that like robot human. Dang, whatever.
He smoked too much dope.
Yeah, he's just like he's constantly high. He's just like smoking for pain. He's like,
he became a dope from smoking too much dope. Yeah, he went overboard with his medicinal marijuana to the point where he essentially had to replace his entire body.
Yeah.
This one might not be popular, but we got to remember what he was up to. I'm putting and note the name here, Old Ben Kenobi.
Yes, not Jedi Master Obi-Wan from the prequel trilogy. Old Ben.
I wager Old Ben was out on a walk smoking a spliff when he ran into Luke and the droids.
That's why he was just like...
You see him walking? Yeah, Nick, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hello there.
The way he's even walking, like, you could say he's trying to, mimic a great dragon, but he's, stumbling all over the place. He's probably, staring up in the sky going, ooh, double rainbows. Oh, I see 4 suns today. So I think Old Ben Kenobi in his Judlin Waste hut was definitely... He probably had a farm.
You gotta imagine if he didn't have his own farm, getting a supply out there in the middle of the Jundland Wastes on a desert planet, it had to be difficult. Having a hookup had to be hard.
Because Jawas were selling high prices. Like they weren't cutting anyone deals on Tatooine.
No, if they came by some OG Kush, you would have to pay high dollar,
right.
high
Well,
credit
that's why
amounts
we
for it.
know. That's why we now know why they had off-world Jawas. Their only point was to go out and collect herb for their brethren and sisters on Tatooine. So,
it makes sense. Yeah, it's all coming together.
Anything else from the Salacious Crumb? Yeah, he's always got a cackle.
He did have that little he had like a little pen too, right?
He smoked some shit too. So that was a good one from Super Scoundrel. Quinlan Voss, I could see that. Yeah, he was a natural Jedi. Because I watched that episode. I think it's maybe season 3 at this point, where him and Kenobi are on a mission after Cad Bane, and yeah, he definitely seems a little loose. Cobb Vanth, I could see Cobb sitting at that bar, and what's the new Mos called?
Mos Pelgo.
Yeah, Mos Pelgo. Yeah, I mean he's definitely chilling.
Yeah, he seemed like pretty relaxed.
Just hopped on to some interesting. Yeah, that's how we roll here. All right, so back to my list, and hear me out. I'll explain this one because I could get the Sidious reaction, but Maul.
Okay.
Think back to when he was, Robot Maul, or even the crazy hooded Maul in Rebels, where even dark side people were after him, where he had his cane, where he's getting a little goofy. I could see Maul. Maybe he got a little dark after his weed days. He might have got into some meth.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like that Maul, like Rebels Maul, was like crack cocaine meth Maul. He was like, what?
Yeah,
cracked out meth. What? He was just all a little. Yeah,
he's a little tweaked out. So maybe Maul he might have started 420 and then gatewayed into the methamphetamines, and that's what really fucked him up. So.
He really took the dark path after that.
All right, this one is non-traditional, and it may not make sense, but it does if you think about it. But Chopper.
Yeah.
If droids got off, coughed to get off, Chopper's one doing it. So I 100% could
I feel like Chopper would do it for stress too.
Exactly.
Like he's just always stressed out, with fucking all the Phoenix Squadron. Like after a mission's over, he just goes into his fucking charging pit, he just uses the pure oil. They just dip him in THC oil when they clean him.
Yeah. And then, think about it. His arms are essentially large roach clips, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the two little arms that come out of his head, you could make the argument that they are, far, far away, a long, long time ago style roach clips.
Yeah, definitely.
The last one I had, just because, he's always kind of cool. He just, he looks like he's chilled out. Poe Dameron. Yeah.
I can see Poe. I can also see on that same note, Han, especially older Han, like A New Hope Han. He just seemed like he's cool under pressure.
Yeah, even when he's laying in the cantina, he's got his arms up. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, Yeah, I'm Captain of Millennium Falcon.
No problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you that.
He's just got that constant mellow on.
I like this one from Kingdom of Weird. Kanan Jarrus could see well for a blind man, so yeah, he probably tapped into the Doja, into the secret powers of the weed, the Mary Jane.
I don't think SW Prop says Windu. I don't think Windu. Windu's definitely not.
He was way too big of an asshole. Just the way he treated Anakin, especially in Ahsoka. He's just you can typically tell people that have never smoked or don't smoke because they're cunts. They're dickheads. They're angry. I mean, I'm angry too, but hey, we know my history. That's just some wiring fucked up.
If anything, Windu was probably straight arrow, no alcohol.
Yeah, he's like the dork.
No
Yoda and Qui-Gon used to make fun of him. Hey man, chill the fuck out, bro. Come on, just come over here and hit this Kashyyyk Kush, dog.
Yeah. No, Bat's right. He said that Poe was a spice runner, so he definitely hit some of the spice before.
Well, this ended up being more fun than I thought. I mean, the fans definitely dove into this one. So, I mean, that's really all I had. We probably could sit here and make an argument for every Star Wars character and why they smoke weed, as most humans probably should, to just calm the fuck down. But we figured, hey, it's 420. It was a light topic week. Why not try to do some fun? So thank you to those in the live stream that played along. If you want to join in on the live stream, I know it's not very conducive for those of you that have full-time jobs, but we typically do them on Tuesday afternoons from 2:30 to who the fuck knows when. Just depends on how much hot air we have to expel on a certain Tuesday. But there you go. So happy 420 to those of you that are down with not the brown frown.
Not the brown, the green.
We don't want the brown frown anymore. We're all we're all high society type of partakers now. All right, man. There's another one. Kingdom Weird. Thrawn has very red eyes. That's a good one too.
He's just constant. The constant.
Tones is right. This should have been the question of the week, but clearly I'm an idiot and I suck at those. Oh, so you're right, Tones.
It was just literally. This was like pre-show.
Kit
improvised.
Fisto is another one. Yeah, he's always smiling.
Yeah, and he's green because of how much he smokes. Like his skin has just taken
him
the color
and Yoda,
of the
like they've just taken on the color of the plants.
Yeah.
Spliff Fortuna. All right. We've had our fun. Let's move into the show. This will be another 4-hour episode that no one wants to listen to. You always know that long episodes probably aren't great when people that start the stream and then come back 2 hours later and you're like, you guys are still fucking talking about this dumb shit. So,
what is going on? Yeah, no, right. I get it.
Let's get into it. We got some rumors to discuss here. And the first one is a rumor about Book of Boba Fett and the idea of a rival gang leader that is being called Hammerhead.
Yeah.
So, Nick, I'll kind of break down. This is actually a few weeks in the making.
I remember the first part of this coming up, and we spoke about it a few weeks ago.
Right. It's one of these, like a friend of a friend, or this of a friend, but at the same time, it's like, if people are going to be making this shit up to get on Reddit and get some Reddit clout, then that's still impressive to me, so I decided to go ahead and cover it finally. But essentially, this dude knows a dude that know a dude that was an extra on Book of Boba, and this dude was essentially playing a guard of this rival gang leader that apparently on set they were calling Hammerhead.
Yes.
Now, what we don't know, and hardcore Star Wars fans are probably going like, the Hammerhead, like the guy from the cantina, the Ithorian. Who knows? They didn't know that. It sounded like this extra was. It's one of those people us Star Wars hardcore fans kind of hate. Because it's not like they love Star Wars, but they're just in the right place, right time, got an extra gig, an on-camera extra gig, like actual in the shoot, not just part of the crowd. So it's like, why would someone like that have to lie? But they probably also didn't really understand what was going down. They're just like, hey, all I can tell you is that Boba Fett and 3 bodyguards face off against a rival gang leader who was called Hammerhead and 3 bodyguards.
Yeah.
One of Boba's bodyguards is Fennec. The other are just generic people, and it sounded like some Gamorrean guards were also bodyguards for these faction leaders.
Yeah. I mean, to me, right when I heard Hammerhead, I was like, I didn't necessarily think it was the Hammerhead that was in A New Hope, but I thought I definitely went straight to Ithorian. I was like, yeah, it's like it's got to be some sort of Ithorian gang leader.
Right, like that's his name. That's what people call him because of his look. But you know, if you call that to him to his face, he'll fucking blast you or something.
Exactly. But I can't I even tried to dig in outside of like the one character that we know of from A New Hope in the cantina. I mean, there's really not another person that is referred to as Hammerhead, and then the only other thing is the Hammerhead Corvette that you see used in Rogue One. So what
do you think? I mean, it is Filoni and it is John. Do you think it could be the man with the bent head and the blue shirt and no pants?
Because if you look him up, like if you look up Hammerhead Star Wars and you go to his canon Wikipedia page, his name is Mama Nadon.
Right.
And it says that he was an exiled Ithorian from his home planet. He was punished by the Ithorian species for revealing the agricultural secrets to the Galactic Empire, blah, blah, blah. So, like, he's already an exiled member of his
species. There you go. So, more than likely...
it's not out of the...
Yeah, he's already a scumbag. So,
so it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that he comes up and starts his own gang. Like I said, Boba Fett is going to have 3 guards, Hammerhead's going to have 3 guards, and they have a showdown. And it sounds like, you know, obviously Boba's not going to die and Hammerhead's not going to die, but they have a few scuffles. Some of the guards are going to die. But we're getting, you know, from this supposed on-set report
it sounds like at some point in time, Fett and Hammerhead are going to have to team up against a third party. So after they have their scuffles, which makes sense, and Boba is basically the new man in town. He's back. He's taken over the castle. So that's definitely going to get rival gang leaders, bounty hunter hives. It's going to get people worked up.
Do you think the third party could be like a Hutt?
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Like a Jabba, relative or another Hutt that's coming in.
I think that'd be a great nod. I mean, that just, again, just more seeds that were sown back in the original stuff that get paid off in this type of shit for sure. I don't know. I mean, who else could be a big bad that would kind of check the fan service, but also like, oh, what?
I mean, the thing that makes sense, like
Cad
canonically.
Bane? I mean, could Cad Bane be the third party that they have to team up?
Potentially, but he never seemed like a gang leader, Like he's definitely a bounty hunter,
right.
But I don't ever think that he wanted to be like the head of his own gang. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, canonically, and what would make sense in terms of the story that's being told is if like Remnant Empire started to push in and try to take over the territory because they're trying to expand their reach again. So then, you get somebody that, you probably, you could be familiar with, or it could just be like another Gideon type of character. Like he's an exiled Moff that's like trying to push in and take over Hutt territory on Tatooine and, cut out his slice.
Yeah, I mean, we got Bad in the chat saying Gideon. It depends on timeline because Gideon's still technically locked up with the New Republic and our buddies at this point in time. So unless book is all flashback, which I don't think it is, I think the main flashback is just going to be how the fuck did you get out of the hole? And I believe most of the series is going to take place during the present Mando timeline. So I think Remnant for sure, Hutts for sure. Another big name bounty hunter is another. I mean, maybe a posse. You got the Dangars, the Boss, the Loms, the Zuckuses. They all team up, something like that. So I tend to take this with a fairly small grain of salt. I do think this is somewhat legit because the way the guy's been explaining it, the guy that was on set has no reason to make this up. Like he's so. It sounds like, he's rich. He doesn't give a fuck about Star Wars. It's just like, oh, hey, by the way, I played an extra on Book of Boba, and I know you like Star Wars, so here you go. So I would not be surprised if, I mean, come on. It's a done deal that Boba is going to be getting in skirmishes with other shady characters. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. But I do like the potential of a Hammerhead, if it is the Hammerhead. But I also like that they're going to team up to go against an even greater foe, which is just going to probably get those nipples hard and the chubbies popped. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a Luke reveal, but it could be something of something that feels similar to how we all felt when that happened. Like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I think it could be a huge reveal for that third party, but we'll see. I mean, I think that even if it's not the way that you could play this, even if it is just like some ancillary character that they created, as long as you do it correctly, of course.
It'd be cool. I mean, I always like when two foes kind of do the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing and team up.
Yeah.
So that's always neat. But keep it out. We explained it here. I'm not saying we said it first, but you heard it here first, right? So when Book of Boba shows up, let's all keep our eyes open for this potential these scenes and really just this concept to play out. So keep on the lookout for Hammerhead being a rival. We're gonna have a little fight. The leads, the bosses will live. The guards are going down, and for some reason, they're gonna have to ultimately team up after a series of battles. Yeah, Tones. I mean, Han and Chewie would be fucking epic, but I don't know. I mean, Han would definitely. Those two would still have a hard on for Boba. I mean, he did fucking sell Han to the Hutts, but I really think Boba himself and his writers are repositioning him as more of a gray type of character. Yeah. And then also, like, Han was never the type of person to like hunt down, like, he's not going to hunt down Boba Fett. Like, even if he knew, like, he had a beat on, like, Boba Fett's on Boba. He's not very vindictive. He's more about getting his. I mean, Han was always like, I want to get mine. I want my money and my ladies. So, I don't know if Han would be that bent. But that's not a bad idea. I mean, if you're those two and you hear that Boba Fett's back, you probably would want to go see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I don't know if you would murder him, but like you would be definitely interested that he's put himself back into the play.
I like that idea, Tones. It's not off. I mean, it would make sense, but I think even if that did happen, it would end up where they become friends, like him and Din. Because I really think Boba is going to be like Din now. He'll bounty hunt if he has to. He'll shoot some motherfuckers. But for the most part, he's not just going to be a full-on piece of shit that predominantly works for the side of bad.
Yeah, exactly. So,
remember?
Yeah, good stuff.
The Dune Sea has, it works wonders on shady people. Both him and Fennec said as much. So
it's very true. So, and they both kind of changed their tune a little bit after their time in the Dune Sea.
Do you think I own a Solo stove these days? If you're looking at the live stream, all of my ads are Solo stove. So, which, by the way, if you've been on the fence thinking about getting one, buy them. The Solo stove is one of the greatest fucking inventions of all time. Okay. It's basically smokeless fire pit that gets hot as fuck, and it's amazing. Especially if you're around women or other men that are always bitch like, I don't like the smell of smoke. I love fires, but I hate the smell of smoke. You get a Solo stove. It's all stainless steel. It's got like a double boiler system. Almost no smoke comes out. All you see is like the flame heat mirage deal. So
yeah, nice.
There you go, Solo. Send me a referral code.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're on the live stream and you're seeing a picture and you're someone that gets triggered easily over Rian Johnson, I apologize. As I said with my lead here, prepare to be triggered if you're one of those angry Star Wars fan types who felt The Last Jedi did something to your soul because its director apparently wants to take a stab at directing an episode of The Mandalorian. So there you go. So this girl, Soraya Wilson, I don't know if she's like an entertainment reporter, but she seems to have direct access to anyone that worked on The Last Jedi. She's done interviews with Daisy. She's done multiple interviews with Rian. And most recently, she got this kind of nugget out of him, which was I enjoyed reading through the comments yesterday on this post. Some of you, it's just like, just get over it, people. Like, why? I'm an angry person, but I would never hold that much anger over a fucking movie and a guy that directed it. But anyways, here's what Soraya had to report about Rian Johnson.
Yep.
I asked Rian if he'd ever consider doing an episode of The Mandalorian. He said he was dying to, but that for him, it's all about scheduling. He's been writing Knives Out 2, and now he's going to go directly into filming it. So it would be a matter of finding time to break away and do it. He said he has spoken to Dave Filoni about it. He had gone and visited the set during season 1. He said it was so cool, and I told him I was very jealous. He had seen Baby Yoda months before the reveal. He said it was fascinating seeing.
Yeah. I mean, well, first off, I would love to see Rian direct an episode of the Mandalorian.
Well, a lot of people made a great point that I forgot. He directed a few episodes of Breaking Bad, and a lot of people consider them to be some of the best Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he did like the plane, whatever the plane one was. I can't remember. But yeah, like he did a lot of those, and that was kind of how he started his career off, was in TV directing. And I mean, say what you want about, The Last Jedi, it was not a poorly directed film. I don't think anybody had any problem with the directing of the film. I think people had problems with the story that was told. Right. And if that's your problem with it, then okay, that's on, each person. But directing wise, I think that it was directed fantastically. And I mean, if you've seen Knives Out, then that is another film that was also really well directed. Looper. So I mean, he knows what he's doing behind the camera, working with actors and everything like that.
He has a vision, if anything else, and that's important.
And then also, like, I don't know a director who wouldn't want to direct an episode of The Mandalorian at this time. Like, the only person that I could think of off the top of my head would be like Scorsese.
Yeah, like he's just an old cantankerous cunt. Like he's one of those guys like, it never should have went digital. It's got to be this. You got to sit in a theater for 3 hours. It's like, hey, dude, you're great, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, like he's the type of person who's like, oh, well, Marvel movies aren't real movies, like comic book stuff. It's like,
he makes basically the same film over and over again with the same old guys.
With the same people, the same fucking people telling the same gang stories over and over again. It's like, we get it.
Fucking
all right, thanks.
Crippled De Niro and dead Pesci. It's like, come on, dude.
Dude, I would love to see. Like,
of course, I mean, dude, look at the clout Rodriguez got. And we're like, oh, he did the Boba episode. I mean, they gave him a whole fucking series after he directed an episode of The Mandalorian. So, yes, any director's gonna want in on this because it's a huge resume booster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's hard to fuck up because you essentially have Dave and John,
right, and that's what I said,
like,
and you kind of touched on it. I really think what really burns people ass with Rian and TLJ was the writing aspect, not so much his directing vision.
Yeah,
people didn't like the writing and where, let's be real, where Luke Skywalker went, how he was portrayed. I've agreed. I'm not so much like, oh, he should have never been a whiny bitch on Acto. I could see that. I mean, to me, Luke is kind of a whiny person. What I didn't like was how Luke reacted to Rey. That was just ridiculous. I mean, the lightsaber throw, at first you might be like, oh, that was kind of funny. Now to me, it's slightly offensive. Just his rudeness to Rey right off the bat is definitely not Luke to me. The other angry, the other woe is me Luke cutting himself off, fine. That I could see that happening because he's like, I fucked it all up. The only way I can fix it is if I just take myself off the board. Great. But it really was. It was Rian's writing choices that burnt people. And Bat brought it up in the live stream. I'm glad he did so I can remember to say it. But we got some choice comments on this post, which I was expecting. But one of the comments was like, I would love if they ran the episode and didn't include him in the credits. And then, and wait to see how people react. And then once all the buzz is out and if people are like, oh my God, it's one of the best episodes ever, then slap him with the directed by Rian Johnson, bitches! You're all a bunch of fucking fake fucks!
You could do it in the Disney Gallery at the end of the season. I mean, that's what that's for, is like taking a peek behind the scenes, seeing how things were put together.
Right.
So like you just have your reveal there. It's like, oh yeah, episode 7, we never told you guys who directed this. Well, guess what? Bang! Here we're on set with director of episode 7.
I think that would be hilarious. They would never do it because I think contract-wise you have to have credits and whatnot. So I mean, I don't think they could ever hide that. But it would be brilliant because it would either make or completely destroy the cases of the anti-Rian Johnson Star Wars faction. Yeah. Because if he made an episode that was a banger and people were losing their minds about it because they didn't know he directed it, it would show you how fucking dumb they are and they're just trolls that like to make loud noises. Yeah. But if it did suck and we find out it was Rian, then you'd be like, well, maybe those angry people had more points than I was willing to give them.
Yeah. But I just don't see it. Like, especially when you go and work on The Mandalorian, we got a little bit of insight behind this with Robert Rodriguez's episode, because like when he was talking to
they gave him 15 minutes of script. He's like, and I had to fill in a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, and he's like, well, all the other stuff that's in here is fighting, so we just thought that you would take care of that. But essentially, they just give him the script. It's like, here you go. This is all the dialogue and story.
I know. Was it Rick? I believe has written some episodes. Fujiya, or how do you say his last name?
Famuyiwa.
Yeah, Famuyiwa. He's written. I don't know if Cho contributed any writing. Filoni has written his episodes, but for the most part, Favreau is the main. He creates the shell, and I think he lets people tweak things here or there.
Color, like fill in the color. He gives them the outline. He gives them the full picture, and he's like, go ahead and color it in for me. Make it look pretty.
But here's the one thing, and we'll kind of put this to bed. Whatever, you guys want to be angry about Rian and what he did to your Star Wars soul and childhood, have fun clutching those pearls, all right? I mean, it gets you, I guess, get your rocks off when you can post shit comments or whatever. But if you're going to tell me that he's an all-around awful director and writer, then I just know you're a fuckwad. I mean, the guy created a franchise that made a ton of money, which in turn got him, I believe, a $300 to $400 million deal to write more. So while Knives Out is no Star Wars, and I'll never say it is, he essentially did what George Lucas did, just on a smaller scale with a murder mystery franchise.
Yeah, it's a really fun project. And if you haven't seen Knives Out yet, I suggest you
right.
go see
Pretend
it.
Ryan didn't do it. If you're one of those people that just like as soon as you see his name, your eyes start vomiting. Like
just think it's like
it's
Brian
a good movie.
Johnson.
It's a good movie, and he earned the right to make more. So you can't tell me someone that gets that much recognition via deals in Hollywood sucks and has no right to be in Hollywood when that shit happens. You know, just because you didn't like what happened with Star Wars, fine. Say that, but don't sit there and tell me that Rian Johnson is a hack and he blows and he has no talent. That's just, you just look like a fucking asswipe at that point in time.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I hope it happens. I mean, it seems like there's going to be many more seasons of The Mandalorian to come, so he doesn't even have to wait.
Come on.
He doesn't have to do it this season or next season. He could come back in season 5 and say like, hey,
I don't think this will ever happen just because cost versus doing an animated series, but I want The Mandalorian to become The Simpsons.
Oh,
we're literally
of,
like approaching season 40 or some shit like that.
Well, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you that title is so malleable, and you could do, like I said, in like pre-season 2, like you could have different Mandalorians. Yeah, I mean,
Nick wanted Din to fucking die last season. He's like, fuck that asshole.
Just fucking kill this guy.
Nick's like, the title is The Mandalorian, not The Din Djarin.
Exactly. I just want a better Mandalorian.
Wow, that's right. I mean, I forgot Troll Nick. Those of you in our Discord, remember Troll Nick last Mando season? He popped out of nowhere and he was beating Din's ass. Yeah. Like Troll Nick hated Din in season 2.
Bunker religious.
Yeah, the bunker boy. The bunker boy bullet sponge.
Dude, I'm telling you, it happens every season, though. Every season, he forgets that he's like supposed to be an awesome gunfighter and just runs into a hail.
Here, I have full Beskar. That's his power, like his RPG powers. Full Beskar, and he just hits it. He's like, blob. He's getting fucking ragdolled. Like when he saves Fennec, he's like, stand back, Fennec. I've got this. Boom, 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 boom. It's not even like, hey, I'm a fucking gunslinger. It's just like, no, I'm gonna eat their bullets for you.
Yeah, like you've seen you like shoot people through shit and like snipe people from fucking meters and meters away.
I love it.
But whenever it gets to a tense moment, he like freezes and he's like, all I know how to do is get shot.
Or when he's with the other Mandos in that remnant hallway. And instead of just throwing the bomb from cover, he's like, fuck it, I need to get a few more yards out in the hall. He's like, doosh, doosh, doosh. Like basically getting concussed punches to his head. Yeah. I love Din, man. I fucking love Din. I love him.
So fun. All right. Well, hopefully one day Rian Johnson can pilot Din and do a cool episode of the Mando for us. But that's probably, like you said, he's on Knives Out 2 now, and we know that Knives Out 3 is right on deck. So he's at least 3 years out from being able to do any sort of like long tail project for Star Wars.
In Mando season 3, Din is going to come out in like the Mark 1 Iron Man Beskar. You know what I mean? Like it's just like full. All he is Beskar now. Like there's no fabric showing at all. Like he just fucking walks around like a tank.
Yeah. He's like, now nobody can
get behind me.
I really it's like, Jesus.
I mean, he goes in the first episode of season 2. He literally takes out like a whole fight club by himself, and then by the end of the season, all he can do is use his full Beskar as like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, he's literally just taking shots, and like in that ship when he was with Bo-Katan and the rest of the Night Owls, like. It wasn't even like those were dark troopers. Those were just fucking regular soldiers. And he's just like, I gotta run down the hall. It's like, dude, they were like golf ball sized bombs. He could have chunked that across a football
He's like, you know
field.
what? I'm tired of waiting. I mean, he is the Leroy Jenkins of Mandalorians. There's no doubt about it. Leroy Jenkins. Oh no, go, everybody get in. That's still probably the greatest gaming bit
Night
of all
Owls
time.
are just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's like, did you see this?
I just, man, I'm glad I remembered your hate of Dummy Din, because just thinking about him and being the bullet sponge. Love him.
Dude, that second half of that season, it's just
Garguts Entertainment. I just want Leia and Slay. Yes, we all do. And Fennec is sexy as fuck. I agree. Ming-Na Wen is a very lovely, lovely lady.
Yeah, very attractive.
All right.
She's like in her 50s.
Oh, has to be in her. Well, that just goes to show you, man. I mean, I've always...
Well, she was the original voice of Mulan in the first Mulan
correct.
movie. Like the
and
one
then they give her like a 2-second cameo in the live action Mulan at the end.
She's 57.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, like, Asian cultures have tapped into the real force for millennia at this point in time. They have. I mean, look at those monks that pound fucking divots in the concrete over the years, or lay on spears. You know, Ming-Na Wen looks like she's 30 and she's 60. I'm telling you, there's something to finding enlightenment and Buddhism and that type of stuff. Plus, probably the way they eat, the way they exercise, and just their philosophies on life. But yeah, I mean, she's aged like a gem. Just beautiful lady.
And she's like Disney. Like I said, 1998 was when the first one was filmed, and then she's been like Disney, ABC all the way through, because she was Agent. What was it on Agent
May?
May. Yeah, that
she's
was
great.
May.
I mean, she's one of the huge leads in Shield. Shield's a fucking good show. I like it.
Shield. I got to watch the final.
Shield
season,
and Agent Carter were just good TV shows.
Good TV. Yeah,
I mean, they're not on the same level as what we're getting on Disney Plus, but for network TV, they were pretty damn good. I will say the most recent Falcon and Winter Soldier was the slowest, but this was I think this was the lull before the Big Bang this weekend.
Dude, that show is so good. Like, it's so and this is like, you know, we were watching it and we were, you know, the most recent episode, and we're like, good on Disney for like not shying away from.
Oh, they took the race stuff head on.
Yeah, like they could have easily kind of shirked past that and not even addressed Isaiah
because
Bradley
I'm assuming you're talking about the Black Captain America that Falcon
Isaiah
goes and visits, and he's like, listen, I could never essentially be the real Captain America, because as soon as I got back, they fucking started doing experiments on me. Because they're like, how could it work on a black person? There's got to be something going on in here. No, I'm with you. I mean, the whole season has addressed that shit, not even tongue in cheek. Like, I mean, that was at episode 2 where Falcon's getting racially profiled by the police.
By the police. Yeah, I mean, and literally, he's an Avenger. Like, so they've done a really good job of taking this head on. And
but
not
5
really
was kind of slow, but I think it was kind of to reset the Falcon and Winter Soldier's relationship, kind of get the training montage, and to push Falcon closer to taking the shield back. So
yeah, definitely. So I really love that show. It's really,
I'm
really
with you.
good.
Props. I thought it was a little boring. It was mostly set up. I think 6 is going to be a banger. And I didn't like, everyone was making a big deal about Julia Louis-Dreyfus's cameo, and how she's either Madam Hydra or is going to be a new big bad, and you don't just bring her in for that. She's definitely going to be MCU. But even that wasn't enough to make episode 5 really, really stand out. So
yeah, I still enjoy.
Oh, it's quality TV, but it wasn't quite as intense as the previous 4,
where fucking Cap smashes somebody's head in with the shield.
Yeah,
it's a little different. And now you're going to start getting into like U.S. agent, like he's gonna be like this, you know, the bad guy.
He's a bad guy. I mean, he's forming his own shield there at the end. We know he's got the serum in him, so he's just as powered up as Bucky. I like it. Here's the deal. I still think Loki is gonna fucking blow this one out of the pond. I think the Loki show is going to put this show's numbers to bed instantly. Like, this show is even more popular than Mandalorian, believe it or not. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we sit here and we think everyone loves Star Wars, it is still kind of, even with how popular it is these days and Disney pushing everyone's face, it is still somewhat niche-y. Where it seems more people can get into the comic book universes.
Everybody loves Marvel. Like, fucking everybody loves Marvel. So
all right, yeah. So Tones is saying Julia's character was supposed to debut in Black Widow, which makes sense. I mean, that really, not getting Black Widow out or their movies has kind of fucked up some of the the MCU plans that we're used to, and having it, like you said, in a continuous fashion. Yeah. All right, so there's a little sidebar on Ryan's deal. All right, Nick had one. It seems this leak, we got another image leak from the Kenobi set. This one seems suspicious. It's like, hey, let's build up this big fucking arena of cargo crates, but leave one hole right where we're going to build probably the Lars homestead, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if somebody like went through and removed some of like the black tarp that was across this fence, but yeah, it literally makes no sense onto how they built this like, particular piece of garden. But yeah, so what we can see is a set pic, like a set image, not directly from anybody who works on the set of Kenobi.
No,
but
it comes from everyone's favorite outside. Noah Outlaw of the Kessel Runs Transmissions group.
Yeah, so we see the Lars homestead that's being built, in the process of being built for the Kenobi set. And I mean, really, again, like this doesn't reveal anything. Once we saw the official cast announcement that had Bonnie Pice and Joel Edgerton playing Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, we basically knew that we were going to have a scene at the Lars homestead. There's almost no way that you would have those characters in the show and not have.
Right. So you do think this is probably this probably is the homestead then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, given the shape of the we've only ever seen 2 homesteads on Tatooine. We've seen the Lars homestead and we've seen Kenobi's hut out in the Jundland Waste, and they're all basically shaped the same way. I mean, this could technically be Kenobi's fucking hut because we can only see one structure here.
Right.
So it could be either Kenobi's hut or the Lars homestead, but
yeah, because they had the main hut which went down into the ground where most of the living space was.
Yeah, and then they had like a big dip,
like that pit, they had that ravine that had other equipment and rooms in it. That's where the eating hall was at.
Slides down it at the end of Tross and stuff.
Because we only saw like the kitchen when Beru is whipping some shit up, and then the dining table, and then the door with their charred corpses. Yeah,
and then there was the other room. The only other room you saw was, I guess you would call it like the garage.
Oh yeah, the garage. That's right.
C-3PO had his oil
and
dip,
where Anakin had his best moment of the prequels for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Props. Get your ass out there, man. Telephoto that shit. Get a selfie stick that's like 40 feet high, and raise that shit up over the fences. You're our guy.
Yeah, I know, right? Get a drone.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Fly a drone out there.
Yeah, the SWTS drone.
Yeah, we'll sponsor.
Then one day we can be as cool as Kessel Run Transmissions,
as Noah and his Outlaws. But I mean, yeah, it's a pretty standard set pick, and it's also like it's a bit ambiguous as to whether it's going to be the Kenobi hut or the Lars homestead. But both of them are going to be shown in this.
I could be just making shit up, but I believe Kenobi had more of a squarish hut.
I have to go back. Maybe his archway, his entranceway was probably maybe more squared off.
I do think this is the homestead. And as Props is saying, that this is the same set where they shoot a lot of the Mando Tatooine stuff. He's saying it's a little more covered up, but for some reason they're like, hey, let's build probably one of our more recognizable structures right where there's a huge gaping hole in our fence.
Yeah, exactly. Like right in front of this giant window, for lack of a better word. But yeah.
Hey, Props, you never know if you're going to get in trouble until you do. So I guess just try it out and see what happens.
Yeah. Just get a long, you probably, Props, you probably have a nice DSLR. So you just got to get a long telephoto zoom lens.
We're talking drone style. I mean, just look at your airspace restrictions. And if you don't see anything that's going to get you in federal prison, then hey, give it a try.
Usually if you fly low enough, then you're okay. Yeah. If you don't hit FAA regulations, at least in the United States, until you're flying a certain height.
He's up there at 32,000 feet. He's like, look, I can see it now.
Props is fucking running into jetliners.
Right. Holy shit, there's a 737.
Yeah, he's fucking just dipping and diving in and out. But no, as long as you're not high enough, then you shouldn't have any regulations that you're going to run into. I'm in Texas, so I don't know, but
there's no laws in Texas.
There's no laws in Texas.
I mean, you don't even have to take care of your fucking power grid down there. They're like, fuck it. If the shit gets too cold, who gives a shit? We're not winterizing that shit. It's Texas. Woo!
Shut it all off.
Freedom.
Nobody's power. Yeah, just go fly it. And if we get shot down, then we'll pay for another.
Comment here from Bat. Didn't Obi and Lars have a strenuous relationship? They sure did, and I do think we will get at least one exchange.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of shared interaction between Kenobi and Lars in like physical form or like in like visual form, like in actual video form. Post Rots, but by the time it comes around to A New Hope, Lars says like, "Oh, that crazy old kook, we told you not to mess
going
with him."
on
like
some old damn fool crusade. Yeah.
So I mean, there's probably because Obi-Wan is literally charged with keeping this child safe until he's of age to train.
You can take it to the bank. You're also probably going to see a young Luke too. 10 years old, 11.
Young Luke is. That's the big one. That's going to be the big. I don't think it's like not necessarily like
not a reveal. I think it'll be a huge moment for fans, like a very nostalgic, sentimental type of moment. Because they have history. I mean, it's not like when Luke sees Obi-Wan or hears about Obi-Wan, he's like, "Who the fuck is that?" He knows Obi-Wan. So Obi-Wan definitely had crossed Luke's path multiple times prior.
Did you know it would be great? Is if Jake Lloyd had a kid and young Luke was Jake Lloyd's kid.
Poor Jake Lloyd. He's another one that got the old Star Wars curse, the Anakin curse.
He was one of the saces.
And I think it hit him hard because he was a true child actor. Yeah, and I think he was doing meth by the time he was a teen. Allegedly.
Yeah, he did not. Have the career that everybody thought he would post.
Yeah, I know there was like a mugshot of him. He still looks like Anakin Skywalker, but older. Yeah. So it's that creepy look where you still look like your young self, but you're older and you have like a little dirty mustache.
Yeah, I mean he literally did nothing post Star Wars. He did episode 1, and then he did the voice of Anakin Skywalker in all of the video games that came after it, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was it. So
who knows? I mean, Tones is bringing up a point. There used to be in the Marvels, the Kenobi journals, talking about him and Owen kind of going out on some crusades themselves. So maybe we'll even see them being friendly. Yeah. Who knows? Or maybe we'll see what kind of sours Owen on Kenobi in this series.
It would be awesome if they were starting to get encroached upon by some sand people. And then Kenobi and Owen have to go out and handle business.
There you go.
That would be pretty cool.
Go. Yeah, so I mean, it is really we can't beat too much out of this image, but to me, the funniest aspect of this topic is the fact that you bring in all these fucking crates.
It's like shipping containers.
They are. I mean, legit shipping containers, stuff you see on the huge barges stuck in the Suez Canal. It looks, what do you think, they stack them 4 high, 3 or 4 high, yet right where they build the Lars homestead, they're like, yeah, let's just leave 2 of these out. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like we don't need those.
Fuck it. We'll make it easier for people to try and grab images and whatnot. I mean, even the angle on this image, someone looks like it could be a drone, or they're definitely up on some scaffolding or another building, because I mean this is pretty far up in the air if you just look at the angle of the image we're talking about. So there you go. There's your update from Kenobi. One of these days, maybe you'll be getting them direct from the SWTS instead of these bozos on KRT.
SW props. If you start giving us some set photos from your drone, we will name you the official photographer of the Star Wars.
You'll become our source, our inside source.
Inside sources have shared images with us.
All right.
There we go.
So transitioning away from the Disney properties.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And this also is coming from Reddit, but I do think this is going to happen. We are in the, as we call it, the video game reveal / announce / progress update season, right? I mean, this is typically when we'd be having the dices, the packs. We're a month and a half away from E3. So the fact that a rumor popped up today on Reddit that Star Wars Battlefront 3's announcement is nigh does not surprise me.
I will tell you right now that almost this exact same post, like with these numbers and everything, came out in January too.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that, I don't know if it's the same person, but like on this gaming leaks and rumors one, like they've been talking about Battlefront 3, like coming soon, announcement coming soon since January 28th. So, but I like what I'll say about it is they just ended support for Battlefront 2. And I am more than likely on the side of some of the commenters in here that are doubting this, because I think they already came out and said that their next focus for DICE at least is Battlefield 6.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the bullet points say. It's still very, very early into development, as most of the team is working on BF6. Should expect an announcement sometime in the coming months. Don't count on a full trailer. It's scheduled for a late 2023 release. It's going to take advantage of the new consoles, solid-state drives, all that fun stuff. Last bullet, the game is positioned to take a new direction for the series that will distinguish itself from the last two installments. And whoever typed this is mental. Do you see how they capitalize positioned, distinguished, and installments for some reason?
Dude, wait, I want to send you this because I literally found like...
No, he's sending it through secret channels. Hold on.
This is the exact same, like, remember when I told you I was like, this is the exact same post that happened 3 months ago? I just sent you the exact fucking post. And if you open it up and look at it, it's literally, they just copied and pasted it.
Well, I guess they figured it was time to break it out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. It was a different poster, but yeah. I don't know. I still... With where we're at in the year, you got game announcements coming up. I'm not going to completely poo-poo this, even though Nick just kind of exposed this as retread. The timing would be right to make the first reveal announcement, considering it's still two plus years out from release. That typically is when they're going to want to at least say, "Hey, we're doing this." Right? I mean, look at Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I mean, that's been 2+ years since its E3 reveal. But now, I mean, Nick kind of definitely pissed on everybody's parade here. But I think I'm still holding out hope that there will be an announcement by E3 or at E3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it got retread because in the original post it literally says set a reminder for April 20th.
Okay.
And that's what today's April 20th. So people are like, oh, go back to it. But like, they haven't even announced Battlefield 6 yet. Like there's been no Battlefield 6 official announcement to my knowledge, at least. Like,
all right, well, I don't think some days you feel like the show's going to be light, so you throw up a bad topic. I'll take one for the team. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see though.
No reason to shit down my mouth here, Nick.
Way to fucking go, Matt. No, I mean, it could happen. You're right. We're getting a con season, or what would be con season.
Whatever the fuck it is these days.
Yeah, so it's very possible that they just throw up a Battlefront 3 splash screen to be like coming. Yeah,
speaking of cons, did you hear those dickheads at SDCC are trying to hold SDCC over Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I mean, they like all of these like companies and stuff like that are like really just kind of screaming for money because like they lost so much money last year.
I understand, but it's like, first, if you're planning on doing it in the States, don't even try to hedge your bets anymore. Like COVID is never going to get to an acceptable level like in Australia or in New Zealand. It's not going to happen. I mean, we're still coughing up like 50 to 60,000 new cases a fucking day here. The variants are crazy. So just like you got companies like SDCC, like, hey, what if we just push it to the fall? Everything's going to be back to normal. No, it's not, because people will not get on board with what you need to fucking do. It's always been simple science. All right. And I'm not going to go down a COVID rant here, but hear me out. Viruses need hosts. This virus needs humans. If you remove the humans long enough, it fucking dies. Like dead. It doesn't come back from the dead. It's dead. It needs us to live. If you keep providing hosts for it to live, it's going to thrive. It's going to mutate. It's going to get worse. It's going to nullify the shit we're trying to do. So all you idiots that are bitching about restrictions and your freedoms and you can't go fucking bowling, If you just suck it up and be a grown-up and enlighten yourself and take one for the fucking team. And I hate humans, and I'm still considerate enough to wear a fucking mask. Even though I've been vaccinated, got my second one today, I'll still wear a fucking mask outside. Because it's simple science! We are the food! Stop it! Stop giving them shit to eat, and then we can get back to real life and not worry about Comic-Con trying to be held on Thanksgiving!
Yeah, it's just
you
a weird
selfish
choice.
fucks!
I mean, con season's going to come back next year regardless. Like, it'll be full force in 2022 for sure. So, I mean, I don't know if it's just like they're trying to do a limited version of it over Thanksgiving or just trying to put something on the books so they can start to sell tickets and get their revenue back under them. But yeah, I don't know, because usually cons would start, I mean, in May, like next month. Like, you know, cons would start kicking off in May.
The gaming shit starts in March. It would go DICE, PAX, E3, Gamescom,
yeah.
Tokyo Game Show. That was like the big season.
Yeah. And then you get all the little stuff after that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this Battlefront 3 release. Like, these people are very adamant that it's going to happen today. I mean, we're pretty far through today.
I can tell you right now, when I was in gaming media, any big gaming news would come out on a Tuesday, but not at 4 fucking o'clock. Okay, all gaming news would break by 10 or noon Eastern time. Period. That's it.
Yeah, like you want most of the day for stories to come out. People start putting out interviews or whatever they need to.
No one's paying attention to the game news scene right now. Everyone's either wrapping up work, looking at the clock, thinking about how the fuck can I get out of this dead end job. I just want to go home. I fucking hate my life. It's 4:20. Someone give me a bong rip. Who knows? I think what Nick is trying to say in a nice way is, hey Matt, you fucking wasted about 20 minutes of your time today posting this for the show. So.
But we'll see maybe later, but definitely not today. But Battlefront 3, you know, probably going to get an announcement for it sometime in the next, I would say, year.
I mean, you're going to get a Battlefront follow-up. I mean, think about Battlefront 2 released and people hated it. Yet once they kind of reversed all their bullshit, it lived a pretty long life for basically a free-to-play game.
Like 2.5 years of full development and free content releases, I think, or 2 years.
So there is an audience.
So that's pretty impressive.
There is an audience, and if they do, you know, maybe de-tweak it, make it a little bit more like the classic Battlefronts while keeping a heavy focus on some sort of single-player canon-based campaign. Yeah. People are going to eat it up. We'll buy it. We'll play it. We'll enjoy it. We'll play multiplayer once and say, fuck the little kids. I'm going back to Outriders.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Nick.
Next up.
Go ahead.
We got the Lego Bad Batch shuttle leak.
There we go.
And this is kind of what we were talking about last week when we were talking about Bad Batch stuff. And you had pointed out very astutely that throughout the Bad Batch trailer that we got, you really didn't get a good look at Crosshair after a certain point. Right. Like, he basically kind of disappeared, and you were postulating a heel turn. He's going to end up being the bad guy.
I want to remind everyone of this, because when it does happen, I want my fucking accolades. All right, I went on Reddit. I want people to recognize that we're not just two dumb fucks. I mean, we are, but I want them to realize we're dumb fucks that actually have worthwhile takes on Star Wars. Yeah. So I mean, I'm talking. I did the crosshair betrayal thing. I've been running with it since that second trailer. I didn't look at other people's opinions. I put my video up as soon as the fucking trailer came out. So I'm taking all the goddamn credit in the world if this comes true. And if it doesn't come true, I'm not taking any credit for that. Okay?
Yes. Hey, it was just speculation.
Yeah, I'm going to be like the other leakers are like, hey, you know, that's what they told me. But I'm telling you right now, Crosshair is going to betray, and Omega is going to be a female clone, the last unaltered clone of the Jango DNA set. Yeah. And she is going to have implications beyond the Bad Batch. There's
our sources have told us.
There's something special.
We know this.
And the source is my fucking brain, because I'm somewhat intelligent when it comes to Star Wars science fiction and figuring shit out.
There you go.
Thank you. You heard it here first. Everyone else is repeating it just like Bat said. That's why Bat's a good man.
So this new the shuttle, the Lego shuttle.
Right. So it sounds like we're getting a Lego Bad Batch shuttle set, and this Lego Fulcrum group, they're just like randomly listing the contents. And if you look at point number 4 in all caps, just to make their point, crosshairs included, Imperial suit. So what it sounds like in this set, one of your minifigures is Crosshair, but he's not wearing his Bad Batch armor.
He's got on an Imperial suit. Yeah.
So this is either Lego people fucking with shit, or Lego fucked up and somehow let this image leak out to where people could start magnifying glass and, busting out their microscopes, analyzing the package contents, looking at the box art, and making assumptions. But if there is a Crosshair minifigure included in the Bad Batch shuttle and he's not in his Bad Batch gear, that throws a little more credence to my theory that he breaks bad on Kamino before they all have to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. I mean, the only other possibility is like that they all have Imperial suits because they were like presented with Imperial suits right as Order 66 was happening. And that's when they like decided to turn away, and they only mentioned Crosshairs, but then everybody had, I don't know. There would be no reason why Crosshair would have one and nobody else would if Crosshair did not turn.
Yeah, so other things they say they saw on the set, I guess, I mean, there are some toy collectors on here. A lime green speeder, there's helmets, only Tech has a new mold. 2 guys have hair. Gonk Droid is in the set. The shuttle is sand blue with red stickers, spring-loaded missiles, separate spare red studs. That's kind of...
One of the hair looks like Kylo's hair. Yeah. The other is modern Doc Ock. So it's like, so Tech is the one with the short hair, Doc Ock cut. And then Hunter is the one with like the longer hair. So
wings are fins are plate build. The fin won't be as good apparently since one side has studs and the other anti-stud. This is you can tell these are like hardcore Lego people.
Yeah.
Echo has arm painting on his alive arm. I like how they call his
alive
arm the alive arm. Is that what you're supposed to go to people now that have lost an appendage? Be like, hey man, how's your alive leg doing compared to your half dead appendage? Like what the fuck is that? It's like Jeff the Drunk's dead arm. I mean, I get that, and I guess now we have a live arm. So Echo has arm painting on his alive arm, pearl gray with a gray hand on the mechanized one. Echo does not have the screwdriver arm, apparently. So
that's just like an attachment, though. Like the arm isn't always a screwdriver, right? And it wasn't a screwdriver anyway. It was like
it's one of those portal things.
Yeah, it was whatever.
It's a roach clip, right? It's 420. Yeah, Echo also partakes. Hey, I just want to comment in here. Lima 4 just joined in, and he just gave birth to his first daughter, I believe last night or yesterday. And obviously he didn't, but his wife. So kudos, Vicente. Congratulations. Yes, I'm glad everything turned out all right. Welcome to the next level of your life. You have definitely just ranked up, and your life will never be the same. And it's mostly in a great way. I mean, there's some times where you're like, what the fuck did I do? But for the most part, and this is coming from a guy that never wanted to procreate, period. I didn't even have my first kid till I was fucking 36 years old. So it's not like I was always, I got to have babies. I actually was anti-baby as it gets. But now that I've had one, she just turned 5, it easily the best decision I've ever made. So congrats. I'm happy for you, buddy. But yeah, kiss your toy photography time goodbye, especially once your little one starts hitting 2 or 3. You got another year or 2 where you can sneak away during nap time and putting them to bed. But your time as Vicente is slowly running out, my friend. But congratulations.
Yeah, you're going to be daddy from now on. That's all you're going to be known as.
So I'm a fan of Lima. He's a good guy. He's in the he's one of our Discorders. He's a long timer. And he shared that with us, so I just wanted to address that. All right, so that's kind of what we got here, but it sounds like a Lego set may be bolstering my claim that Crosshair breaks bad, and I think he's going to break bad within that first 75 or 70-minute episode coming up on May the 4th be with you.
Should be pretty fucking awesome.
All right, Nick, buddy, we're going to cross over into the I guess the collectibles portion of the show, right? We used to lead with collectibles and top 5. Now we kind of end with it because, not everyone is both a Star Wars fan and a hardcore collector like myself. I mean, Nick he's more probably your I don't know. I'd almost say you might be, fuck it. I mean, Kung Fu's pretty hardcore. Hank the Stuntman used to be pretty hardcore. Neither one of them collect like my dumbass. So there does seem to be 2 factions of Star Wars fans, right? There's like those that love it and honor their love through collection. And then there's those that love it and they don't feel the need to spend, thousands upon thousands of dollars to honor that love, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have a few things, and I have tattoos as well. I have 3 Star Wars tattoos, so that's pretty immortalized.
Yeah,
on the
hard,
body.
Yeah, that's hardcore. I don't have any ink. I mean, it's not a pussy thing. It's more of a my skin is broken, so I don't really know how it would react to. My vaccine Band-Aid rash just went away now, and I got it about 8 hours ago. Like my skin is ridiculously sensitive, and I have
to start off with like a small one to see how the skin would react.
I would love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. 41, I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel like I could actually sport a sleeve and not look like an asshole if I took my shirt off. Like I still have somewhat muscle definition. I even have like stomach muscles these days. But as my daughter pointed out when I was shaving, right? I put some effort into my workout and diet. So on Friday, that's my best day of the week. I feel my best. I'm the most emaciated. I like feeling emaciated. I can see some abs. She comes in. I'm shaving without my shirt. She comes in. She's like, "Daddy, how come your butt fat is so high up on your back?" I was like, "No, that's not butt fat. Those are called love handles." And Daddy these days, all the remaining fat of Daddy's is stuck right there. So yes, I still have huge love handles, but she said that it was my butt fat, my upper butt fat, basically.
I love that, man. Kids, get ready for that, Lima. Kids say the darndest
things. Oh yeah, no, it was
right?
hilarious. Like, I'm in the best shape of my life, and she still thinks I am a fat fuck. So she keeps me honest. I love it. She's like, "Daddy, your back's fat." It's like, well, I probably shouldn't say so much shit about fat people in front of my little kid, but I've got a problem with fat people. Let's just put it this way. I could be on my 600-pound life. I have that same addiction to food that those people have. I just made a decision after I hit 230 for the second time in my life at 5'6" that I don't like feeling that way. I like feeling emaciated. I like people saying, "Hey man, you look like you work out." So I did something about it, and I stopped eating like a fucking pig. But there is not a drug in this world that I love more than food. 100%.
Yeah.
Food. All I want is food. And that's why I talk shit about fat people, because I know it's a lack of willpower and laziness. Just say fucking no, exercise, diet, anyone can do it. Don't give me this shit, you're born this way, or it's your metabolism. It's all an excuse, you pussies.
There you go.
All right, man. Toy time. Hot Toys time. And holy shit, dude. They've done it to me again, Nick. We just got the reveal last week that the live-action Ahsoka, the Rosario Tano, is being immortalized in 1/6 scale action figure form.
It's a pretty figure too.
I mean, come on. I was talking to Tones. I'm like, well, dude. I mean, Tones. He's now gone full into. He's buying the large shelves, the glass shelves with the lighting. I'm like, well, you're fucked. You're fucked. You've gone down the same rabbit hole that 1/6 shooter warned me about when I started dabbling in 1/6. Once you start buying the glass shelves, it's over. Just admit defeat.
You're done.
Just admit you're going to probably be spending at minimum $1,000 a year on Star Wars Barbies. It's over.
Just take half of your paycheck every month and then just give it over to Hot Toys.
Right. So, and it's just, they've absolutely slayed the Mandalorian wave. Both season 1 and now we're moving into season 2. At this point, we've tracked it here on this show. I'm pretty sure I have every single Mandalorian hot toy either in my house or on pre-order outside of the just generic Mandalorian Death Watch one. And I think that's it. I think that's the only one I've been able to say no to.
Yeah, because we like actively bashed that figure when it was on the show.
It's just like, come on. I mean,
Fett.
how many just Boba Fett-like characters do I really need? Even though I bought another Boba Fett with the Boba Fett helmet, that will be my third and fourth. Because remember, I got the deluxe. It comes with no helmet Boba, Nomad Boba, and the remade Neo Boba. But anyways, we're looking at the Ahsoka right here. She's coming in 2 formats. You're gonna have just a figure, and then there's going to be an Ahsoka with Grogu and a few extra pack-in accessories. Yeah. And I've got some of the shots up here, but my God, I mean, the sculpt is spot on. It's the seamless joint system, so you don't see wrist joints, you don't see elbow joints. The face is dead on. The too short necktails are dead on. Just beautiful. I mean, I look at the cloak. Look at this figure, Nick. I know you don't like. I mean, you don't have the same appreciation that we do, but just as a fan of art and sculptures. Nick loves David. He likes to look at his little penis. But that's just a damn good looking figure.
Yeah, no, I mean, they couldn't have done the sculpt on this any better. I mean, if you look at that face, that literally is just like a carbon copy of Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson's face. Like you mentioned, the cloak itself, the soft goods cloak, is so well made. It looks weathered.
What I also like?
Good job.
I like this for any Star Wars figure, because when we see them in the show, you can't really get all the nuanced detail of their costume. But if you go back, I'm going to go back to the shot with her not wearing a cloak. Where the fuck is that? Come on, driver. There we go. But you get to see more of the detail. And she really did have a full-on samurai kit on. She even had the split toe ninja shoes, like the Ninja Turtle feet.
The flowy pants.
Yeah, the shin guards, the ankle guards. Yeah. She has like those beads hanging off her belt.
Yeah.
Like
full Ronin style.
Exactly. Like the puffy pants. So, like I said, this is coming in 2 formats. The pre-orders are up. And I was surprised to see the price difference here. Because I was getting all high and mighty in my write-up, like, hey, you know what? Who the fuck needs another 1/6 scale Grogu? Because everyone probably bought the full Beskar Mando with a Grogu that comes with it. So how dare Hot Toys try to give me this deluxe version of Ahsoka with Grogu? And as you can see on the stream here, the only extra thing you get is a lamp, a tree stand, and like a cardboard cutout of the Corvus forest, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I bet they're charging $50 extra for that. So I'm only going to get the Ahsoka version. All right. And this is before I knew the price. Then the price comes out, and come to find out, the Ahsoka with Grogu is only $30 more than just the Ahsoka.
Do you think it's just because, is it literally the same one that's in other packs, or is it?
No, that's the other thing, Nick. He actually has a different pose in the other packs. You are getting a new version of 1/6 scale Grogu. So the fact that they're only charging $30 extra for a Grogu, a lamp, a stupid stand, and a background. I mean, honestly, the stand could be Dio parts for us photographers, so it's not that stupid, as well as the lamp. Yeah. I've changed my tune. I'm going to get the fucking deluxe. Fuck it. I mean, for $30 extra, I'd be stupid.
Yeah, definitely worth the small price increase. I mean, just the lamp and the stand alone, you could do whatever you wanted to do with the Grogus that you already have, but having 2 set pieces like that, especially ones that fit so well into the Corvus landscape where you saw Ahsoka, worth it.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I mean, I'm a sucker for Mando 1/6. That's out in the open at this point in time. I mean, I might as well just go to a 1/6 The Mandalorian Figures Anonymous at this point in time and try to get my chip or something, because I finally, kind of let slip, like, oh, hey, yeah, by the way, Heather, I've got about $5,000 pre-ordered over the next couple of years. And she's like, huh?
What do you mean? What was that? 5,000
I said, oh,
months?
yeah, I got some toys on pre-order. She's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you always do. No problem.
When she heard
right?
the 5,000, she's like, what the fuck did you just say? It's like, yeah, well,
what is wrong?
Well, Heather, it's like split over a year or two, so it's not that bad, right? Right. As we're sitting here trying to figure out ways to make our house more valuable and more fun, I'm down here literally pissing money into Sideshow's coffers for pre-orders.
Matt's like, look, we can just sell the house with the figures in it, and it'll increase the value.
Oh, you wanted to do the deck? $5,000. It costs $5,000. Sorry, we don't have it because I already spent it on fucking Hot Toys. It's like, you see that shelf down there? That basically was our in-ground pool. Sorry. I guess we should sell more Funko Pops. There you go. Props. He says, I won another raffle, babe. I like that.
Yeah, it's like, look.
That's a good lie. I like that one.
It was, I got it for nothing.
And Connor, when it comes to these types of releases and comments, just don't even bother with them. People are angry at everything. I mean, they're fucking figures, and
they will always find reason to hate something.
I've looked at it this way: if I think a collectible looks cool and I like it, who gives a fuck what other people think?
Yeah.
All right.
I also like too a little subtle detail that I just noticed on it. Her forearm or like her upper arm wraps are wrapped the same way that you would wrap a katana hilt. Like that same wrap pattern. It's pretty.
It's pretty excellent, but it's out now. It's on Sideshow, and it's looking like it may hit all of our homes July to September of 2022. So like a lot of these new ones have been shown off, you've got a year and a half. So do the layaway. The layaway just takes the pain away. That's what we like to say. Go layaway. It takes the pain away.
Look at that, Matt. You had a perfectly placed ad on there too. The pre-order link on with the big green button was right next to all the pictures.
Nice.
Look at that.
So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still enamored by what Hot Toys is doing with their Mandalorian figures. Really, any of them. It's hard. It's something that, I mean, when I was younger, I'd look at them and be like, oh my God, I wish I could get those. And now that I do have a little disposable money, thank the universe, all that fun stuff. It's hard not to just be like, oh, you remember when you wanted those and you couldn't get them and you had to wait? Well, now just buy them all. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
You don't have to wait for anything.
I was telling my dad, and I do appreciate how my parents raised me with money. It sucked back then. Like, I hated their fucking guts. Like, hey, how come... Joey, his parents bought him the Nintendo. Well, that's Joey. You have to fucking earn it. Like, you have to do work. I'm talking like 5 years old. Like, you got to fucking earn it. Yeah. And from that point on, if I wanted something big and it wasn't coming from Santa Claus or shit like that, I had to earn it, which meant waiting and suffering during that wait. Almost dying inside, like, but they have it. I just want it. It would make me so happy. And they're like, no, you got to fucking earn it. And it did teach me the value of money, the value of saving. But on the other hand, it completely broke me when I did start getting money. Because now it's like, fuck you. I never want to feel like little Matt used to feel. Xbox Series X coming out, buy it. PS5, buy it. Hot Toys Ahsoka, buy it. Like, there's no waiting anymore. No, too much PTSD from when I was little and having to wait and earn it. If I got the money now and it's not going on credit and not digging my family in the credit debt, it is getting purchased.
Yeah, no shame in that. Hey, you're an adult. You've earned the money to be able to do that. So,
dude, props is fantastic. Listen to this one. This is some expert level collecting shadiness if your significant other doesn't like what you do. So,
oh no.
All right, so here it is. This is his tip. Tape up empty shipping boxes every week and make random trips to the post office to make it seem like you're selling toys to get more toys.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. Like, I love that.
Over time, they're like, man, I know that you sell a lot, but it seems like it just keeps getting more and more, like your collection.
What happened
gets
to
bigger.
the vacation fund? I thought we were going to be able to buy our Hawaii trip this year, but it's at zero. I thought you were selling all those toys and winning all those raffles. What the hell's going on with our money?
It's like, well,
I like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
what
can actually
happened to them.
see. I can actually see collectors doing that if they have a significant other that's always busting their balls just so they don't have to deal with it. Just like taping up a box, like I'll be right back. Just sold that mall. Be right back.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, can I go with you? I guess no. It's too much smog out today. I'll take care of it. See you, love. Bye. Props. I like the way you think.
How shady you are, sir.
All right. So sticking with the toy topics, we got this was actually kind of a surprise drop today.
Yeah.
In honor of the Lucasfilm 50th celebration, which has kind of been going on all year. And at this point in time, I think we all realize that anytime there's an anniversary to celebrate for Lucasfilm / Star Wars, they're going to figure out ways to get fans to spend more money, right? It's like,
yeah.
So we got a surprise drop of 4 new Clone Wars figures that are headed to the Black Series line, technically for the first time. And the cool thing is, I fucked up the post. So
hit the if you refresh, I fixed it. So you should
look at that guy. Look at him. He's doing behind the scenes type of producer shit right there. But kind of the neat thing with these, it's the packaging, Nick. And
yeah, I like it.
That packaging is what they used for the 3 3/4 inch run when they had these Clone Wars figures when the series first started. So that's kind of a nice touch. And the fact that you're getting some of these characters, Echo, you're going to get ARC Trooper Echo, but apparently, as Connor has said, and even I saw on a few of the comments today, I can't believe they put him in that shitty fucking new ARC Trooper mold. Fuck. I hate you, Hasbro. I'm going to kill your mom. That type of shit.
I don't know if Connor went that far.
But no, not him. I'm just saying,
in general.
Reading. I mean, to me, I think the Echo looks fantastic. I don't give a shit if he's too hard to fucking pose. Who gives a shit? I can't pose him, even if they have posable joints. So you're going to get the Echo. Here's the deal, though. There's 2 things that rub me the wrong way with this, and Joe has hit on that here in the live stream chat. And by the way, if you ever want to join in, we're on YouTube, Star Wars Time Show. Do the live streams typically on Tuesdays around 2:30 to 5:36-ish. You never know. The first thing I'll say, I do not think these face sculpts look as good as we've been getting from Black Series. Echo already looks a little too shiny, too plasticky. It just doesn't look as good as some of the clone faces we've got.
Yeah.
I think the Anakin looks horrendous.
I was gonna say this Anakin face is awful.
I think it looks
like this is so bad.
Yeah, I think the Anakin face is a big miss. I read the article because there's actually an article on StarWars.com talking with a guy that designed these and why certain choices were made. And apparently, since these figures are technically from early Clone Wars, he wanted to capture Anakin more towards the not as
younger,
not as close to Revenge of the Sith long hair Anakin, but starting to grow his hair out from Clones Anakin.
But the face itself, it's not the hair. Like the hair is okay. It's just the face sculpt itself just looks bad.
Yeah, I'm not loving this Anakin at all. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be a dope and try to get him, because I want a 6-inch General Skywalker figure. I'll probably throw on one of my old boy cut heads or hell, even the Black Series Revenge of the Sith head. I don't think the Anakin head looks right. Who knows what it's going to look like in hand? It just looks like, as I was going to say it, but Bat kind of beat me to it. It looks like they just upscaled the 3 3/4 inch version of Anakin. Like they're just like, hey, fuck it, just blow it up and print it bigger. Anakin's head just looks off.
It does.
Kenobi
doesn't look.
He looks a little better. Still a little shiny. It looks like he could have like huff paint eyes a bit, right? Like he looks like he may have been sucking on some spray paint. Not as bad as Derpy Kenobi from the original Black Series Revenge of the Sith Kenobi. But even the Kenobi, some's like, whatever. And then Hawk, hey, he looks cool. He's a pilot. I don't think there are any clone pilots at the 6-inch scale, so that's a nice pickup. So here's the biggest shit bomb with this announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Target exclusive. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Oof.
Anyone that's tried to collect over the past year or two, when Hasbro does this with Target, knows what that means. When you say targeted exclusive, it's like saying, hey, Hasbro Black Series fan, pull down your pants and let me kick you right in the balls. Because you're probably not going to get it. You're going to lose out to the bots, and then you're going to have to go on the black market and pay double the price.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Hasbro takes these types of anniversary releases that you know are going to be super popular. Like, you know, the 3 3/4 inchers and the big Clone Wars people, the people that collected this line back when it came out, they are going to want to get these figures. So why are you making them an exclusive? I'm assuming people in other countries won't be able to get them unless other retailers in their countries get the deal that Target has. But I've pretty much had no luck getting anything that is even somewhat sought out after on Target. So I'm not expecting I'm going to get any of these, and that's kind of a shit bag. It just, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why Hasbro makes these choices with these types of figures. It's like,
retail, yeah. It's got to be money. Like, Target has to pay a certain amount to them to have this as an exclusive. It doesn't make sense that they would just like rotate exclusives. Like, these retailers have to pay a certain amount for it.
I understand, but do you think that finder's fee, or whatever you want to call it, Nick, is greater than opening it up to, say, I don't know, every retailer?
Yeah.
I mean, you think Target's paying them like, hey, we'll give you $50 million?
I don't, it's probably not that much, but they're definitely paying them something.
Of course they are, but is it enough to remove product from every other retailer and global retailers? I don't see how that works out unless Target has something on Hasbro that could, send them to jail. Maybe they know, Hasbro's a pedophile. I don't know. But it seems odd that Target always gets these coveted deals, yet it turns into a shit show for the fans. And these types of releases, out of any release, should be for the fans.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. So it is fucked. So for those of you who are trying to get these, I mean, I know at one time, didn't Target have like an exclusive Star Wars toys portal?
Oh, they still do. No, Nick, you're right. I mean, they are probably the most ingratiated with Hasbro's exclusive program these days with Star Wars stuff. Yeah. But it's just, it's odd. And I mean, hell, we're getting it right here just in our tiny little live stream chat. I mean, why Hasbro had to kill the chat system on its fan event. It's because people are like, hey, quit fucking doing exclusive releases. Quit doing Target exclusive releases. And yet they always build it as, oh, it's for the fans. Target's for the fans. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
No, it's not. If it's for the fans, you would sell it through one central location all the time. Just sell it on your fucking website. It makes no sense to have it. Oh,
fuck Hasbro Pulse Premium. I didn't re-sign up for that dumb shit after every time I went to go buy figures from there. Right when they released, you couldn't get them. And those are basic figures you couldn't buy right from Hasbro. Why are you people trying to get me all ramped up towards the end of the show? I gotta go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
Fuck it. All right. I don't know. I mean, at first I was like, oh, this is cool. We're getting Echo. We're getting the generals. We're getting a pilot clone. And then the Target exclusive shit is like, well, probably not going to get those. Apparently, Yakface is saying street dates looking like May 19 on these, but I guarantee a pre-order or whatever the fuck they do will probably happen before that. But unless you're there and you get lucky or you know how to use cart bots, you're probably not going to get all 4 of these, if even a single one.
Good luck to all of you, is all I can say for that.
Yeah. So here we go. Happy hunting, and try not to have a stroke like I usually do.
Yeah.
Okay. We got last one here, and this actually, a couple of our fanboys sent this. I think you said Grey Goose Snaps hit you up. I think Tones might have dropped it in there too. But we all know David Prowse passed away a few months ago, and now, as things go, when people die, it sounds like his family or his estate, they're like, hey, fuck it, let's try to make some money off of his death. So they're auctioning off his Star Wars collection.
Yeah, I mean, he had a big memorabilia collection, not just from Star Wars, but from other projects that he worked on as well.
Clockwork Orange.
But obviously, he's known for playing the physical presence of Darth Vader in the original trilogy. So they will be auctioning off a lot of his stuff that he got from set or that he was given by other members of the cast. You can see one of the first images on here is a signed portrait from Mark Hamill itself. It says, "For David, you'll always be Dad Vader to me, your loving son." Mark Hamill signed, and that was in 2007, so relatively recently. 14
Hamill's
years ago,
such
I guess.
a goob. He always is doing that, like dads and sons. You see Hamill's doing a movie with that fucking, what's his name? Bert Kreischer I don't know. He's like some... I think he did
the guy who always takes his shirt off, the comedian.
Yeah, he's like real fat and does it. Like I don't know if he started as a comedian or like a travel show guy, and then he turned it into comedy. But I mean, good for him. He's got Netflix specials, and he's doing a movie with just Mark Hamill. So I mean, he did something right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Mark's been working on quite a few things. Obviously, we know that he was reprised his role as Luke Skywalker at the end of Mandalorian, but he's got the Masters of the Universe TV series that's coming up on Netflix.
He did like a fantasy series too, like Nightfall or Night something.
Yeah, it was Night something. I can't remember the name of it. I don't even know. Nightfall, yes. 2019 series. It was on the History Channel. He played a character named Talos, which was essentially like another exiled type of knight character. He's in this, so Squadron 42, the video game, he voices somebody, Lieutenant Commander Steve Old Man Colton, and then the Machine movie she's just listed as father, but that's the one with Bert Kreischer. Oh, so so this is about Bert's life. It says Bert's drunken past catches up with him 20 years down the road when he and his father are kidnapped by those Bert wronged 20 years ago while drunk on a college semester abroad in Russia. What the fuck?
I'm scrolling through some of David's stuff. It is some cool, like old 70s style shit. Yeah. He played like a Green Cross guy or something. I'm guessing this is UK
see that
stuff.
Use the Green Cross code. So I don't know if Tones would have any insight into the Green Cross stuff, but yeah, man. I mean, David,
Tones, UK people. What the hell is use the Green Cross? That definitely doesn't translate to American pop culture.
It said playing Green Cross Code Man
like, what the hell is that?
Was the best job
is that like Smokey the Bear?
I was gonna say, is that like Red Cross? Is that like a Green Cross Code Man? Yeah, I don't know. Green Cross Code, superhero character created in England in the mid 1970s. It is kind of like a health and safety thing.
Okay, yeah, like do the right thing, kids. Don't be a fuck off. All right.
To raise awareness of pedestrian road safety in the United Kingdom. Multimedia Green Cross Code.
So you're telling me then if they had to do this campaign, you must have had motherfuckers getting run over left and right in the UK. Like, what the hell was going on over there?
Tones, how many people did you hit with your car in the 70s? What the hell?
I mean, you had an epidemic of little kids getting ran over in the street at crosswalks or something to get a superhero created.
All these people coming back from the pubs late at night.
Don't cross the street, you fucks.
But no,
you know what? When I was there and drinking it, I think I went drinking up in Camden or something. I did a lot of drinking in London too. But I do just kind of remember walking all over the place, and their streets are like, you just have a car fucking, they turn weird there, and obviously they drive on different side of the roads. So hey, guess so.
I mean, he was working, like David Prowse still did a lot of stuff even up until 2016. He was in a TV series, did an episode in a TV series, and then he was doing guest appearances on talk shows and stuff like that over in the UK. So, but yeah, I mean, like you can kind of look at his IMDb
Surprised he's not selling his cod piece from A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I know. Right? But I mean, what David Prowse primarily was before he was Darth Vader was he was a bodybuilder. Like he was.
Yeah, he's a big man. I mean,
yeah, he's a professional bodybuilder, and then after that, he kind of transitioned into doing some
big dude
smaller roles in TV movies and stuff like that.
Look at Eunice. I mean, sometimes it pays to be oversized. I know it's probably not giant. Awesome to be that tall, but I mean, for someone that's 7 foot plus, I think he landed exactly where he needed to be. I mean, talk about being lucky.
Yeah,
right when Peter was kind of tailing off, he was just there at the right time.
Yeah, like seriously, Jonas, basically if you're that size, you're either a basketball player or you do shit like that. You're like,
or just die young because
I know,
your body's not supposed to be that big.
Yeah, it's really weird, but yeah, Junus's only 5 acting credits are episode 7, episode 8, Solo, the Smuggler's Run in Galaxy's Edge, and then episode 9.
What the fuck else is he gonna do? I mean, people that size stick out. I mean, I get you could throw him in the Predator costume, but
yeah.
All right, so do you know when's this going down? I mean, I guess we're just like, hey, auction, and then that's it.
Yeah, no, in here it doesn't.
I've been scanning through it. I don't see shit. So hey, go.
People can bid until May 4th.
There you go. So it's just an open online type of auction.
Yeah, it's open bidding, so you can go online and you can find where you can bid for these items online. But the bidding will be open until May the 4th. So I assume that you can bid from anywhere. You don't have to be from the UK to do it. So if you're interested in that, you can look up David Prowse's
Hey Nick, money talks and it translates, so don't matter.
Very true. Yeah, they don't care where the money comes from.
Use your crypto.
Yeah.
All right. It's about that time to transition into the final segment of the show, the fan segment, the one you all love, the one where some of you get honored, the one where some of you get ridiculed. I mean, Nick has been known to kind of make fun of some of you these days. So let me get the Slack prepped up to make sure we're not on the shit talking channel. There we go. We're definitely in the clear. And we're going to start with this week's question to fans, which sucked, as Tones pointed out. Or it could have been a lot better if I was thinking.
Could have been the 420 question, but you know what?
Hey, you win some, you lose some. So here's a question. Just this was based off of the. I was weak, but I need to do it. It was based off of the Boba topic today. So, what other bounty hunters do you want to see in Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
All right. Who do we got first?
First up, we got our good friend Kingdom of Weird. He's in the chat. He's the newest member of our Discord. He says Cad Bane, IG-88, and Ochi of Bestoon. Maybe a gnarly looking cyborg Dengar too.
So yeah, he's thinking Dengar is already starting his transition to that thing we saw in
he's already replacing
the Rise
pieces.
of Skywalker that you would have no clue it's Dengar unless you read the fucking the visual guide or whatever.
Visual dictionary.
You know what? I mean, we saw a lot of Cad Banes, which I would love too, and it makes sense, especially if they're abandoning that Clone Wars arc. I think that would make a great episode of Book of Boba. You know, let's fully explain the dent in the helmet and kind of revisit that duel. IG-88 got a lot of good ones. I believe we're going to be reading one here from Lights Camera Tentacles soon. Because I
like the Ochi.
Yeah, I was going to say, my favorite, though, and one that I wasn't even thinking of, is the Ochi. And the reason I say that, obviously, you know, the sequel trilogy is what it is. It's canon. We got to live within it, love it or hate it. And he does play a role in it. He's in a movie. He shaped the legend of Rey Palpatine. Someone shoot me. But, I mean, if those of you that pay attention to my comic book recaps, reviews, he's played a huge role in Darth Vader's path, pre-Return of the Jedi. And he's actually become kind of a fun character with Vader, and just watching Vader just treat him like a little punk. So I think that'd be a nice ad to get a character like Ochi in there.
Yeah, the machinations are already happening in the background for the Emperor on Exegol and like getting things moving towards his eventual rise back into the galaxy. So having Ochi kind of maybe even just popping in and out, or not necessarily playing a huge role, but like playing comes in one episode and causes some trouble, and then we don't really see him again. I think that's a good call from Kingdom of Weird there, just to start to, like you said, build up more history behind this character. I mean, he was a Jedi hunter. This guy was one of the best there was, personally hired by the Emperor himself. So yeah, build the legend a little bit behind him. I like that call.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice, and any anchors they can put into the past for the sequel trilogy, I think will help. I mean, hey, down the road, if we're still dumb enough to still be doing this, we could be talking about the another animated series or another project that kind of massages some of the wounds of the sequel trilogy, as we've talked about the Clone Wars and Rebels and whatnot doing for the prequels, at least for me. So
I really hope that does happen eventually. And I know that, it seemed like George's plan all along for the prequel trilogy was to have that show that kind of ran in between 2 and 3 because he knew that there was a big gap in time. But I do hope that we do get something like that for the sequel trilogy, because even though it does happen in a lot shorter of a time period, I mean, you're talking the entire sequel trilogy may happen over 2 years. If that,
because Ryan's choice to continue right away.
I mean, you were literally
zero room for any sort of character growth or exposition.
Yeah, and then we don't really know the time period. I think they might have come out and said the time period between episodes 8 and 9. I think it was
a year at the most.
Yeah, it was a year, because I think Boyega mentioned that too, because he was talking about his hairstyle in the movie and everything.
Yeah, Tones, you keep mentioning this black-haired Wookiee bounty hunter. That is Black Kurstan. Or Kurstan, or how the fuck you say it. That's who it is. Yeah, he's been rumored to make to pop up in Book of Boba or the Mando. He fits on either one. I think that's going to happen for sure. Hey, look at that. Hopefully. Jared Middleton's in here. Shark Boy.
There we go. Shark Boy.
I like his shark head's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know. I've been seeing it a lot on the IG.
He's a motherfucking influencer. He's a Star Wars time show influencer. He reps us. We love him. Yeah.
He's got the personal hookup with Mountain Dew. If anybody needs Mountain Dew, reach out to Jared.
I'd assume that at this point he almost has a lifetime supply.
Unlimited supply. Unlimited. He just gets them every week, pallets.
Hillbilly fuel. I was never a Mountain Dew
by
fan.
Contract to blow up a certain amount of the Mountain Dew.
Correct.
All right, next up here in the fan question of the week, we got Swit Picks. He says Cad Bane and the original Hunters. So, I mean, that would be Zuckuss, Forlom, IG-88. So, kind of the whole crew that we saw.
And honestly, Nick, I will not be surprised even if it's background or Easter egg tongue-in-cheek shit, if we make it through Book of Boba and we don't see a majority of those bounty hunters.
See, I would like to see 5-Lom, Forlom's kid, and he's like, yeah, Forlom got wasted. Yeah. He took a laser bolt to the face, and
5-Lom. Yeah, there you go. IG-11, the 5-Lom.
Yeah, you gotta come up with some, because I mean, this is a very dangerous business. So we're just all assuming that all of these bounty hunters just survived from when we saw them in Empire Strikes Back. All the way till after,
they do shady shit. They're working for good guys, bad guys, mercenaries, in-betweeners. I mean, their whole job description is you will do shady shit.
Exactly. So I imagine that some of them had to get wasted.
But I would, because they don't really. They were background in the original trilogy. Yeah. They didn't do shit. Yeah. I mean, I think Bosk maybe went.
Yeah, Bosk literally semi-growled.
Yeah, I think Dengar turned his head a little bit.
Yeah.
Forlom was standing there. Zuckuss was drunk. I mean, you didn't get shit. So it would be nice just to maybe hear them interact, or I don't see them reminiscing with Boba. Who knows? I do think if it is going to predominantly take place in the present Mando timeline, that Boba will not fully revert to his evil ways.
Yeah,
I'd even like to see him fuck up some of his old competitors.
Throw down with Dengar.
Because it's not. I mean, at least the few comics I've read of Boba, and I plan to read the War of the Bounty Hunters. It's not like they were all buddy. I mean, they're in a competitive business. They might have teamed up on jobs like we saw Din and 11 do to make it easier and split a bounty, but they're fucking bounty hunters. I mean, they'd easily sell one out at the drop of a fucking hat to get the bounty. So
these people were in it for the money, and even in previous works and old canon, Boba Fett literally told Han Solo, he's like, dude, I don't have anything against you. I don't not like you. People just want you dead, and they keep paying me to do it. So, at one point they had to work together to take down Han Solo's cousin, which was like Thrackin Sal Solo at that time. But like that's how bounty hunters work, man. Like I bet one bounty hunter may get a fucking contract to go kill another bounty hunter.
Exactly.
Like,
it's not a very. I think the only thing they honor, and we saw even Din didn't honor all the bounty hunter code, is just. You know, if you do the bounty, you turn it over and get your payment. That's about it. Like that's the only code that a bounty hunter has.
It is a money business. Like they don't give a fuck about anything else.
Cutthroat. I mean, they're even shadier than scoundrels and smugglers.
Yeah, because at least scoundrels, you're not, you typically or smugglers, you're not trying to kill people. Like you're running spice, you're moving shipments or something like that. But typically, you have a little bit of wariness about like just running into a building and shooting somebody.
Let's be real. Din dropped off what he thought as a baby. Yeah. To the client and was leaving. He was on the fucking ship. If it wasn't for the shifter and his heart kicking in and remembering his own, being ripped from his parents' past, he gave up a fucking baby to the bad guys. So
a very small child. Yeah. Like, here you go. You can have them. See you later.
So I mean, Cad Bane originals, we did get a lot of those. It's just we got Swit Picks in there dropping some knowledge. Here's Lights, Camera, Tentacles. I would love to see IG-88 in action. They already have most of what they need to put him on screen done already because of IG-11, but to see IG-88 in action being a horrifically intelligent and sinister assassin droid which spreads its consciousness over several different bodies would be absolutely awesome to see. He could be one hell of a threat.
Yeah, I mean, so is that canon that he can do that?
I'm just going to take his word for it because I'm assuming that's like comic book canon.
Could be.
But it does sound like he could almost infect other...
Like a hive
exactly,
mind,
like other machine-based beings.
That would be pretty fucking sick. I mean, I agree though. Like I think a lot of people would have an appreciation now for IG-11 given IG-88, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it would be a good nod to the noobs that came in. Like, oh, I love Star Wars. Who's your favorite character? Baby Yoda. It's like, okay, well, how much Star Wars have you watched? It's fine. I'm not one of these high and mighty Star Wars fans. The more the merrier. Like the more the merrier. I don't care if you're a new or old fan. I'm not that fucking. I'm not a cocksucker like that, but. It would be kind of a nice callback. So, but yeah, IG-88 popped up a lot. Who we got next here? Passage to Alderaan.
Passage to Alderaan says, I would like to see Dengar and a flashback of him rescuing Boba from the Sarlacc pit. So you think that Boba did not get out himself, that he was rescued.
Well, okay. I hope that this all gets put to rest come December, and it has to. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and be like, if they don't show us Boba's resurrection, I'm canceling Star Wars, and it's Kathleen Kennedy's fault. See, I told you Jon Favreau wants to get away with her and take over stuff. No, I'm not going to get into that dumb shit. But I will be disappointed if we don't get even a montage, a Cobb Vanth style backstory for how he gets the fuck out of the Sarlacc. It has to happen.
Yeah, you got to get something. It can't be completely ignored. Even like you mentioned, just like a short
hold on.
thing.
We're getting hot news in from the live stream.
Yak Face just announced an Imperial Black Series crosshair and Imperial armor. Oh shit!
Oh my god! He just put up a whole bunch of posts on his site. That's retro collection Mando figures. I don't really care about that. It must be on Instagram. Hold on, people. We got breaking news here.
Yeah. Let me see.
Breaking news for collecting and for Star Wars lore.
He does not. It says, okay, so he's got an image of the box right here. I'll share. I'll copy and paste the post to you.
I'm already on it. I got it. It's says, first post. Or it just says Bad Batch, right?
Yeah, but go over to the third image on there. It says crosshair Imperial, like in parentheses Imperial, formerly a member of the Bad Batch.
Told you, motherfuckers. Loyalties. I didn't need to see this shit. I told you exactly. Exactly. Read the summary. Read it.
Yeah. It says Crosshair's loyalty shift after his team defects from Imperial service. Committed to the Empire, Crosshair leads a new squad of enlisted recruits. Bang.
All right. Well, we'll thank you, Bat, for the tip, and we'll thank Yak Face for the proof. But I did not need to see that to predict exactly that.
There we go.
So what should I start saying, people? Should I say my sources told me this, or should I keep just pulling it out of my beautiful mind like I've been doing? No research went into this. I watched a fucking trailer and called it! Day one. Eat it. Eat it, KRT.
Matt, he's just connected. He's connected into the force.
And go look at some of the comments on that video. Tell me that I'm fucking stupid. It's just the way they edit it. No way. Fuck all of you. I win. Listen to SW props. Everyone, standing O. I'm going to get up and take a bow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, that was pretty fun. All right. So, yes, I mean, that's about as official as it gets. People like me, I don't need this stuff to predict Star Wars future. I've got the Force. But
tapped in.
I do like getting some backup here. So thank you, Yak Face, for that confirmation of my excellence.
All right. So last up for the fan question of the week, we just talked about Passage to Alderaan, wanting to see Dengar save Boba from the Sarlacc. And then Dom Tober says, let's see Cad Bane. Valence, or it would be cool to see a live action Dirge. Didn't we have some Dirge rumors recently? Like there was some rumblings about Dirge.
He has been recanonized.
Yes.
Yes, Tones. I'm not mad that I'm right. I'm mad that no one still knows about our show and that I actually do have decent predictions sometimes. That's what it is. Yeah. A lot of it's, I get worked up. Like I said, I'm not going to be a monotone like this is how most Star Wars podcasts deliver their podcast. Even KRT, I've watched some of their stuff and they're just like, oh yeah, did you guys see that news? Oh yeah, it was cool. Do you guys want to hear our next leak? Oh yeah, Crosshair is an Imperial. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, I get a little nuts. I like to shake things
Animated.
But no, it is. I mean, it does come from, there is a little bit that is truthful. I mean, it's like, how many fucking videos and correct predictions do I have to make before we finally break with the larger Star Wars fan base? It's probably never going to happen at this point. I just need to come to that realization. But here we go. Here's another one. I mean, ass figure fucking hurts. I called the Book of Boba at the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, he literally
he said he's going to go back to the palace, talk to Bib Fortuna because he had to get his slave one out of their parking garage. Essentially, what I said, and it fucking happened. Now he killed Bib, but come on, I mean it's close enough.
Yeah.
You sound like Mike's. Fuck you. I sound like Mike. You know what Mike Zero would say? Mike Zero would say Kathleen Kennedy made Crosshair an Imperial because she hates white men. That's what Mike Zero would say. Don't you ever compare me to Mike fucking Zero. You son of a bitch.
Oh, man. you hit the nerve.
Mike Zero my ass. Mike Zero's a fucking piece of shit.
So Dom Tober here mentioning Valence, which anyways, I don't know.
I think he's isn't he the bounty hunter in the current bounty hunter comic? Like he's got the Robo face.
Yes, exactly. It's Beelert Valence. So he is in the new bounty hunter comic run. So a lot of
Nick,
people.
Back to your point on Dirge. We just said he's being recanonized and would make sense because he's coming in through the Afra comic. She's kind of mixed up in the bounty hunters and all that shit.
Yeah.
So he would be neat to have show up. Tones, come on, man. I was just fucking with you, buddy. I know you're kidding. Come on, man. Come on. You guys take me too seriously sometimes.
Yeah, this is not a serious show.
By the way, did anyone else notice, and I probably shouldn't say this yet, I haven't had to pee yet.
I know, right? I'm almost getting to the point where I need to pee.
No! If Nick pees first, it's going to break the universe.
I know, it's the whole show's
we either got to finish or I'm just going to go force some pee out.
I'm going to power through until we get done because all we have left is the quick update on the battle bracket and then our top 5.
All right, here you go.
and then we're out the door.
So thanks for the feedback, people. We would like, we did have some variety here. We did have some variety in responses, but we're still only getting like 12 comments and 3 or 4 story replies. And as you can see by the numbers on the battle bracket, not a lot of interaction there. So step it up, my friends.
Battle bracket. I mean, this week wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as the sub 100 votes that we saw a week ago on the Marvel only fight. But this week was the closing out battle for round 1. So it was Revan versus Obi-Wan, which like I mentioned last time, I believe was a rehash of one of our fights previously, and it ended the same way. Obi-Wan Kenobi, 73% of the vote. Revan, 27% of the vote. The total vote breakdown.
Go ahead,
was
Nick. Read me as a loser. Shame me. Go ahead.
Yes.
I know that this is what you like to do. Shame us.
Revan had 42 votes. Obi-Wan had 116. So it was a real big blowout. And yes, for those of you who want to know who voted for Revan, who I thought should have probably won this, Haywood Pop, whoever that guy is, loser.
Loser. Yeah, I just like his loser at the end.
SW Props, loser.
It's like the end of Willy Wonka.
Yeah. You lose.
Yes.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. Rob Chase, Baron's Black Series. I mean, all of these big dumb idiots.
They're with me in the loser bracket.
Yeah, Star Wars Toys 73.
Loser.
But I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I told Matt this earlier before we went live. It's like I just realized that the KOTOR game, the original KOTOR game, where Revan is your reveal, the big Revan reveal, and everything like that. That came out nearly 18 years ago. So
yeah, probably unless you've dipped into Swago or like your parent got you onto KOTOR, you may not know fully about the Revan.
Yeah, either unless you've played those games, you have no idea who that character is because he never really came into even animated series. No. Like he was just solely
don't worry, games. Nunez Justin, I'm a loser too. Even the host of the show got the loser label this week. It's all good.
All of you are losers.
We're a band of losers.
And that was not decided by me. That was decided by the vote. Okay, I think that all of you are fantastic.
No, I do. I mean, unless you're hardcore, you probably aren't very deep in the Revan. Maybe if you saw art, it would send you down a path like, oh, who the fuck is this? And you might research it. But I can tell you, depending on your age, it seems younger generations no longer know how to do any sort of research or fact checking or looking shit up. So I could see where people would be like, oh, that guy looks cool. I wonder who he is. Fuck it. I'll swipe to the next social media thing to look at.
I mean, also, there's a lot of fan art now. I mean, like, not fan art of, like toy pics and stuff like that, but people just create characters.
Well, there's a lot of fan casting of Keanu Reeves as I believe. We'll get to that. Oh, you picked him. That's right. I don't want to spoil it.
We'll get to it. But, yeah, I mean, it's just hard. I don't expect people that are in their mid-20s now to know who Revan is, just because it's been such a long time.
Big Amish, he's younger. I believe he's in his early 20s, and he's just saying he's struggling playing KOTOR because the gameplay is weird. And it would be like someone that didn't play it originally or didn't game back in the turn of the century when gaming was still very wonky and a hit or miss experience. It would be slightly jarring to play it now, so I could understand.
Yeah, it's not an RPG like you're used to playing now. Like if you're used to playing even like Final Fantasy style turn-based, like old Final Fantasy turn-based RPGs, like it's just different. It is more of a you can pause combat in the middle. You have to queue up your actions.
You know what? I actually like that. I like that. I know they want to change it.
And it allows you to save yourself from death.
Damn straight. I like playing it. I mean, it almost makes it like a real-time strategy, like an XCOM almost.
In a way. But yeah, like a lot of people don't have the appreciation for Revan that older fans do because of the KOTOR and stuff like that.
Well,
so
it shows.
I really do hope that we do get a proper either reimagining or remake of KOTOR 1, or we get a follow-up that includes Revan in some way, shape, or form, because that character does need to be properly resurrected. And it was, one of the best non-canon old EU characters that you could think of.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I liked them both. I mean, Malik too. Those two together, their designs. I mean, to me, I'm usually drawn to design first. It's probably why I love the Empire so much. They just have a more pleasing aesthetic than the rebels and good guys usually do. Yeah, seeing those two together. I mean, one guy, he's got that like the red, he's got a cape, he's got a steel jaw. The other dude's got a Mando helmet on, but he's wearing a hood. It's all good stuff. So, Mr. Hello there takes the cake, huh?
Yeah, he does. So that is going to set us up for our round 2 bracket that's coming through at the start of this week. Actually, at the conclusion of this show, I guess you could say. And that's going to be our first matchup will be Anakin Skywalker versus Darth Maul. That comes off of the 2 battles prior to that. So Maul versus Anakin Skywalker. That's going to be a big matchup for our fan base here because we got a lot of Maul homies. We got a lot of Anakin lovers. So that'll be fun. And then the next one will be Palpatine versus Wolverine. That should be an interesting one to see how that all
check this
down.
out.
So
we can start charging fuckers on Apple Podcasts now.
Oh,
we can
really?
launch our official Apple Patreon.
Oh shit! We're gonna get money
out
of all
offer
of you
premium
guys,
subscriptions, which would be, I think that type of content would just be me rubbing my balls on the mic for 30 minutes straight.
I know. The only thing that I see
Like
podcasts doing for like monetization and stuff like that is that they do an extra podcast per week that only subscribers get.
Big fucking deal. Or like you can listen to it earlier than other people's. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Like, okay.
I mean, I guess more power to people that do it, but I still have not.
We
done
will
it.
not be charging you guys for it. Not yet. One day we'll scalp
I'll tell
you
you, if
all
I can
for-
get people to pay me to just rub my balls on a mic for like 15, 20 minutes as a special subscription podcast, I'll do it.
There you go. Matt will do some ball ASMR for you guys.
Have you ever watched it? Howard's done some bits on ASMR, and that shit is fucking weird.
Oh, man. I have not seen that.
You know what
but
it
I
is,
know
though,
that
right?
fucking-
It's literally like people just make videos of them either eating, or sometimes farting,
Yeah,
burping, and
I
I guess
know the
people just
ASMR,
listen to
but
it.
I've never watched it though, and I can imagine that like Howard's take on it, like or the like his like, is it like his weird crew?
Oh no, it's just like, hey, check this shit out. It's fucking weird as hell.
So he
it's
just like does segments.
no, it's like
So I
these
thought he
people
was,
are
like,
weird.
getting his-
No. Like they've actually found people that do ASMR, like weird stuff, like eating, like.
I thought he was talking about like fucking high pitched Eric gets on there and starts doing ASMR, which would be fucking weird.
No.
No,
No, it is weird.
Like,
It is.
oh,
It's
man.
like I guess people either get off or it helps them relax just to listen to people
I don't know.
make
Like,
strange noises.
I've seen it like the first like the ones that I was like more familiar with is like people like crinkling plastic or
just
something
weird
like that.
shit.
Weird stuff. But I don't know,
Hey,
man.
you know
People
what's the
are
best
weird.
part? They have more YouTube subs than we do.
Oh yeah, just like that's maybe we need to do that. It's just like crinkle plastic and shit.
Right. Or I'll just
SW
like
Props wants us to start an OnlyFans.
I'll start licking. Well, hey, that's basically our podcast now is OnlyFans because it's not like we have a huge following.
Yeah, it's only our fans.
Okay.
So,
all right, man. Let's put this thing to bed. Let's move into this week's version of the top 5 Star Wars fan artist features. I guess I got to lay it down. You never know if there's someone new, but the way to get involved in this segment and to appear on the infamous Star Wars Time show is to tag us on Instagram anytime you share something Star Wars. Star Wars art, collectibles, whatever. If you think it's artistic and you think it'll catch our eye, at Star Wars Time Show on Instagram and use hashtag Star Wars Time Show. Throughout the week, 7 days a week, typically in the mornings, my dumbass will scan through all the tags, all the hashtags, and I will select shots that stand out and will be featured on our account. Then at the end of those 7 days of features, we're talking upwards of like 1 million shots, right? 7 times 12 is at least 5,000. Nick picks his 5 favorites. So these are the cream of the crop to Nick. If you got problems with it, you take it up with Nick. I have nothing to do with this except everything, because if you don't get past me, you don't make it to Nick's eyes. And then Lord Nick cannot pick you for the top 5. So again, if you want to get on this Star Wars Time Show, have your work featured and discussed and licked and loved, at Star Wars Time Show on Instagram, hashtag Star Wars Time Show. And make sure to put all of our shit first before all the other pages and tags.
Yes.
Because we need to feel special.
Somehow we need to feel special.
There's people, the feature pages were getting kicked in the face yesterday from some of the big accounts. And Nose Rain kind of sent out a message like, hey, if you're a feature page and you're asking me to thank you for featuring my work, what helped your page grow, go fuck yourself. And I was like, yeah, he's right. I'm never going to call ourselves a feature page, even though we do feature, and I know exactly why we feature, and it was exactly what Nose Rain was saying, but I think we do it the best. You literally, the first thing you see is this person's art, it's awesome, and then we talk about and promote said art. So I'm never going to feel bad about leaning on the community to get some juice to our own following. But we are a podcast account, first and foremost, at least 1 day a week, multiple hours a week. We are podcast, we are not feature. But we definitely used the work of the great community to grow our own tiny community.
To build up a little bit. So thank you all for submitting your shots this week. And first up in the top 5 is actually it's a new account. There was almost like 3 new accounts.
You're getting good at this, picking straight noobs, like, because I think this was a first time them tagging us. I featured, and look at this. See,
and then bingo,
dreams
bango,
can
top
come
5,
true. Dreams can come true.
Here it is. It came from the Toy Box. Is the Instagram handle? It came from the Toy Box, and he has a masterful Mando Luke is what I'll call it. Mando Luke shot.
It's great posing.
And
great posing.
It is. It's just fantastic posing.
I gotta fix the screen. Don't yell at me, people. Keep going, Nick. I fucked that up.
It's like it's the shot where you still, like, as a fan, you're watching it like, is it Luke? We don't know. It's Luke. You don't see the face. He's still completely in his black cowled self. His full outfit, green lightsaber ignited. Hand out towards what we can see in the foreground, just barely in the foreground. You can see one of the dark troopers there approaching him, and it just captures that perfect essence of that Mandalorian moment where he's walking in. He lands his X-wing and he's walking in to save Grogu and his companions.
To me, what stood out was the pose. I mean, it's a great pose. Yeah, atmosphere. It looks like I'd actually say that's post.
Okay, the smoke in the bottom is a post-processing.
But I mean, it's a great use of a cardboard diorama. I believe that's an extreme set, which are just cardboard based. But as you can see, when used properly, they can make for some very nice sci-fi backgrounds.
Indeed,
I'm always. Shit jumps out at me a lot in toy photography, but I'd say one of the biggest is a well-posed shot. That's always going to catch my eye. The second, it would be a well-composed shot. So posing always gets me in compositions. But I did like this one. So it's a good start from it came from the Toy Box.
I know.
Keep it up. You got lucky. Now don't feel like it's owed to you like some noobs do when they get it right away.
What?
I'm not. That's just Greg's bit. Trust me. I know you don't monitor the socials like I do, but I can't tell you how many we get now. Like, oh, hey, I've been tagging. You ever gonna feature me? Or hey, can you share this and this? And it's like, hey, come on. The more you do that, the more I'm gonna associate your name with scrolling past.
Yes. No. Like it. Yes, tag us, and then look, like Matt says, it's not like we can't put up everything. Everybody,
it's ridiculous. I mean, we still probably. I mean, I don't even think we sniff what Star Wars: The Black Series would get on a daily basis, but it's getting big enough to where now the features folder. Because remember, I save shots every day. I scroll through. I take screenshots, put them in a features folder. It is now at 326 to go. And that's current through mid-March. So we're talking from mid-March until mid-April. On top of sharing 12 shots a day, I still have 320 to get through.
Yeah, just saved shots.
So the queue builds up, my friends. At this point, it's like taking tickets. It's going to get featured at some point in time if it's a great shot. I will pull one brand new shot. That is the lead feature. I will then go back to the back end of the feature folder. So the oldest shots, I will rattle off 5 of those. And then depending on some of the new stuff, if it's new accounts and I want to get them featured early so people can be exposed to them, they may make the final 6 shares for a day. But a lot of times I'll just scroll through the folder and stop. All right. That one's going today. Scroll and stop. That one's going today. So there really isn't a system to this. It's very subjective to start, right? I mean, just to get to the feature folder, you have to catch my eye. Yeah, and I'm. It's not like I'm some high art person. If I like it, I like it. It's going to get featured. But the queue is building up, so just be patient. All right.
Yeah, but as for it came from the toy box, go give this person a follow. Only 174 followers on this account. I'm not sure how long he's been in the game, but you can see he's got plenty of work up there. Lots of different focuses too. One of his most recent shots is Batman from Batman Beyond. Then we got some Star Wars. Then we got some Texas Chainsaw Massacre, some Spawn. So a lot of different things he's doing out there. But awesome to see this really nice piece of Luke Skywalker
it's good
from
shot.
Mando
good
art
shot.
from
all right. Well, I know who this is. I mean, it's like
You know who this is.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
yes,
Black Series, BLK, SRS, and we all know this. Anyone that's been in the toy photography community for a while you can just see images and instantly know who the artist is. I mean, Black Series is one, Jason B. Michaels one, 1-6 Shooters one. Mm-hmm. Press Pause is becoming one for me. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, I look at more toy photography than probably anyone that listens to this show. Think about it. Every day, the first thing I do for at least an hour is scroll through everyone's Star Wars work. So I've developed an uncanny ability to just look at shots and instantly know the artist, which does happen. Artists, they have their style. And yeah, as soon as you scrolled this up, I was like, damn, that's a Black Series. I mean, we shared the C3P, whatever the fuck they call themselves.
C3P bros.
There you go. Work More or Less, SWTS, and Black Series. I shared all 3 of their latest, kind of, what would you call it?
Their series?
They essentially, they pick a figure and then they all go create their own shot for it. They don't tell each other what they're going to do. They just say, hey, this week they shot the Mandalorian Loyalist. So Work More or Less, he does a shot. SWTS does a shot. Black Series does a shot. And they all look very unique, but if you look at them, they all look like the artist that made them. You instantly know which one was Jason's, which one was Zay's, and which one was Spencer's. And clearly, I mean, Black Series, and that dude, he was on I think he was on Sky News last week for his.
I was
going to
say, dude, I heard somebody talking about him recently. It was on television.
Yeah, I mean, he's blown up. A lot of these social media sites that have millions and millions of followings have started finding his behind the scenes, which he makes great behind the scenes. We'll eventually talk about Zay's shot we're talking about, but Black Series makes some of the most engaging behind the scenes because it's like he storyboards his behind the scenes is the best way I can say it. He has a plan. It's not just like my dumb ass. I'm like, oh shit, I'll do a behind the scenes. And I'll hold my camera there and be like, look, there's my figure standing there with lights. He actually, you can tell, he had a vision for the behind the scenes. Not only does he have a vision for the shot, he knows how to tell the behind the scenes stories in an engaging way. And that has helped him really start to explode with pop culture sites and sites that aren't just about toys or collecting or toy photography.
Yeah.
But this shot here of the chicken walker from Mando is just fucking beautiful. I mean, this is toy photography artwork.
Yeah, I mean, just the lighting, the way that he catches the rain effect in the light shining from the ATST. Yep. I mean, it was just really perfect.
And he did a BTS on this. You got to follow Black Series because for the quality of shots he produces, he provides great behind the scenes, and most of the times you're sitting there going like, that's all he did to get that? That's all he had to do to get that? My God, is he a genius? Because I believe he shot this one at night with one light and maybe like a hose or some water in his atmosphere aerosol.
He had a spray bottle that he was just spraying in the air.
Unicorn mac and
then he had a lume cube, like some sort of red light. I don't know if it was a lume cube or not.
He actually
a red light that he put inside of the ATST.
Exactly. So pretty much everything you see here is practical, obviously with some post-processing to enhance the image, but it's just the dude puts out art like it's full on. It's transitioned from toy photography to artwork.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So at BLKSRS on Instagram, if you are a listener of the show or a follower of the show and you're not following Black Series, if you're not following Zay, please do give him a follow. Because
what the hell's happened to our PR rep? Like, why aren't we lining up Black Series, 1/6 shooter, Super Scoundrel, Plastic Action?
Called the fuck out.
Come on, Spencer. Congratulations on finishing school. I know you had to rap. I'm just busting his balls. I know what he's doing.
No, Spencer is hard at work, and I know that he's trying to get a lot of. He really
wants to try to get he wants to get the big time guests, but I think he's finally figuring out that that's not going to happen until we're somewhat big time.
I mean, it's hard when you have. We have roughly, we get a decent number of downloads per month, and we almost have 10,000 followers on Instagram, which is nice. But like, it's hard to get guests of high caliber when you have 50,000 podcast downloads a month. Like it's not easy to get people that have a following.
Yeah, so I think he's learned that, and that's good. But I have told him, let's get the community back on here. Like, we're not going to get the big boys and girls from Star Wars, and that's fine. So let's start bringing some of these people that can share their experience, share some tips, and I can bust their balls about their Star Wars fandom. Because let's be real, anyone in the community, how many fucking toy photography podcasts have popped up since Nick and I started talking about toy photography?
I was going to say, man, we started doing this, really focusing on toy photography. We started doing this like 2.5 years
2018. Ago. And I believe we were one of the first to have someone like a Sir Dork on as an interview, and then this account started doing it. Now this just random person. It's gotten to the point where they're like, hey, I want to do a toy photography podcast. What do you need to do? It's like, oh God.
Yeah. It's like, man,
come on.
What you got to do is immerse yourself in the community and, really build a following that is around that.
Yeah. In the end, we are a Star Wars podcast and fan podcast first and foremost. I fucking love the toys. I love the photography. That just got kind of looped in. Before we became full-on SWTS, we just talked Star Wars, period.
Yeah.
Shows were a lot shorter, too, that way. We used to do...
Yeah, the shows weren't
Nick and I used to do...
3.5 hours
when we'd hit an hour, we'd be like, woo! Man, we got an hour today. Damn.
Yeah.
Now, 3 hours is normal. 4 hours isn't that big of a shock anymore. I feel like they're getting too long and people tune out, but I know you series fans, you hardcores that show up for the lives, you seem to appreciate our white noise in the background. I know you can't pay attention for the whole 3 or 4 hours, but we it does sound like we have become background working music for a lot of people, and I appreciate that, but it can always be more. It can always be more, for me at least.
All right, so... Beautiful stuff from at BLKSRS.
Not that he needs our little show to promote his work, but my God, the guy has blown up. Oh, look. Yeah. So there it is. Was the Keanu. Yeah, because Nick kind of cut me off, but I've been saying there's been a lot of fan casting for Keanu Reeves as Revan. And lo and behold, I knew the shot was in there, but I forgot that Nick picked at Darth Collector. But at Darth Collector gave us it looks like he took a 1/6 John Wick head and probably dropped it on, I'm guessing the Anakin body, styled up a...
Because you can see the hand. Yeah, it does kind of look like Anakin because of the glove
there's
hand.
A glove on it. But either way, I mean, that's a damn good looking fan cast Keanu Revan. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, just look at this shot. I mean, Darth Collector... Not only, I mean, yes, the head sculpt of the John Wick to bring to life the Keanu Revan was perfect, but like the post processing done to make that lightsaber look gnarly, the bokeh effect that he added in post as well, more than likely, and just like getting that close up in your face, evil fucking.
Yeah, it's a good
Keanu
angry
Reeves.
Keanu look.
Yeah.
Like it's a great sculpt for making this kind of fan cast.
And then like the job he did again on the eyes, like giving him those red orange Sith eyes was fantastic. I mean, I would fucking love to see Keanu. I mean, and I'll say too, like Keanu has a very high regard, a lot of reverence for Japanese culture, samurai culture, and stuff like that.
Well,
so
he is, isn't he? Isn't one of his parents Japanese?
I think one of his parents is Japanese. Yeah. So I think that if he was presented with an opportunity to play like a Jedi or a Sith character,
I mean, Keanu to me,
Wars,
he's one of the actors of my lifetime. Like he's a guy I'll always love this guy because I've been watching him since I was a little kid. Bill and Ted, fucking love Bill and Ted. Love Speed. I mean, obviously The Matrix. I fucking love this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that like...
I'll go see whatever he's in. He's like an Arnold back in the day, a Sly, a Dwayne Johnson these days. My God, listen to this, people. I almost considered rebranding the show last week to the Comic Book Time Show. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to say much, but the level of access I'm finding myself at with the comic book movie universe essentially blows away any of these fuckers that say they have Star Wars sources. I'm talking the shit I have seen for some actively filming DC movies right now would explode people's faces if it were Star Wars. And that's why I'm like, well...
That's why I told her. It's like, we just need to rebrand to the Geek Time, Nerd Time, something.
Yeah, we might as well ditch the Star Wars thing, because I'm telling you, the shit that I have seen and heard from legit sources on some of these comic book movie sets is juicier than any of the major sites, any of the THRs, any of the Entertainment Weeklies. I mean, I am talking insane access.
Yeah. But
you remember that Kenobi video? And we're like, man, what the fuck's that guy's pretty ballsy. I have that level of access to comic book productions.
Yeah. But you know what? We chose to be the Star Wars Time Show.
Yeah, oh well, we're fucked. And I'm ignorant like that, so I'm just gonna dig my heels in with this tiny fan base and never have the huge following I want, and it is what it is.
Oh shit, there we go. So in the chat,
all right, Darth Collector joining the show live.
So he says yes, he did use the Anakin body for this shot here. But yeah, before we went on our Keanu tangent, like we were saying, I mean, this shot is just, I mean, it really is a fantastic portrayal of what we could potentially see in a
Darth
Keanu
Collector.
Darth
I mean,
Revan.
he always kinds of jazzes up the shots, like makes him more than just a portrait. Like, I think the last time we featured him, he did that. Basically recreated the Vader scene from the end of Revenge of the Sith, right? Yes,
so. I think that was it. Yeah, the one where he's on the table. I think that was it.
I'm a fan of @Darth Collector, so really like this figure mashup. Like I said, the fan casted Keanu as Darth Revan clearly works very well, helmet or no helmet.
Yes, 100%. So thank you @Darth Collector for this fantastic portrayal of Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan. Next up, we have @Kenobi1TO on Instagram, and he's got, I mean, I don't know if this is like this almost looks like a mint complete kind of shot.
Yep.
Like what we see is the Millennium Falcon just fucking zooming through hyperspace.
That's a Lego, by the way. Do you know that?
That's Lego. Okay, I was looking at it a little bit, and I was like, I could see some of like the little Lego things on it. I was like, but man, this looks way too
Nick, I mean,
good to be Lego.
That makes me seem like I'm really smart and can analyze this shit. I've shared this, I featured it, and I just now realized it was Lego.
Dude, I like
so that just speaks volumes.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking incredible the level of detail that Kenobi One's been able to put into this piece here. And I know that we've featured him before, but it doesn't seem like Kenobi One posts all that much.
No, he slowed down tremendously. Like I believe this is a shot from March or maybe even later. So you know, I mean, sometimes the hobby wears you out, especially if you don't feel like you're getting a following. It can make you go, you know what, fuck this shit.
Hurt.
So. But yeah, I just realized that was the Lego Falcon. That's how fucking good the shot is.
Fucking impressive. So you see the Lego Falcon now that we figured it out, zooming through, through sub-light speeds down towards the planet, and then you can see on the flanks of the shot, you see the panels for 2 TIE fighters coming up right behind them. You see 2 laser bolts coming in towards the Falcon.
It is an excellent composition. It really is.
Yeah, incredible action shot here of the Falcon. And I mean, this guy.
That's how you do composite work. If you get into that, like if you want to get there and cut images out and put them on different backgrounds and mash them all together, I mean that's a that is a well done composite shot. Hey, look who has joined the live stream. It's someone that I talked about earlier.
Oh, Perfected Chaos,
the Englishman, my buddy Britt. The one that I have convinced to play Outriders, and he has already surpassed me within a week when I had it for 2 weeks because he is a dedicated gamer. When he gets a sniff of a game that he gets addicted to, it's just like, you know, a little hit of crack, a little hit of the H. This dude will play it and play it and play it until the cows come home. So, hey there, Chaos. Thanks for joining in, buddy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining in. And thank you to Kenobi1, Kenob1 TO on Instagram. Go give him a follow, because I mean, I hope that he didn't get discouraged with a slow following. He only has 875 followers now, only 28 posts. So show this guy some love, because the amount of talent that we see in the few shots that he's put out is very good.
And I can tell you now, and Nick probably knows too, but being a consistent poster on Instagram is more important now than ever if you do want to grow a following. I post maybe once or twice a week now, and I've just my account's essentially dead, and that's fine. I don't really care that much anymore. I like just posting when I want to. I try not to post during the generic tap session, even though I did last night just to make myself feel good and get a couple hundred likes, but. You do. Like, it's so clear now, if you do not post on a regular schedule, your reach will be worse than it's ever been before on Instagram. So
yeah, you really do have to maintain consistency.
Yeah, you need posts and you need interaction from the same people every single day. That's what tells the algorithm to start sharing your work more.
Yeah, to like spread it.
All right.
To seed you throughout the Instagram.
Well, our last one here that Nick went with doesn't need any of that shit on Instagram, because he goes viral as fuck, and there's a reason for that. It's because he creates some of the sickest vector art in the galaxy. And that's our boy, one of our mods, one of the wrench bros at the super_scoundrel.
Yes, exactly. At super_scoundrel, bringing us the fantastic spot-on Praetorian Guard from The Last Jedi. And
this is an Imperial Guard, but
this is Imperial. I thought this was. Oh no, the Praetorian Guards have different.
Yeah,
helmets,
he's got them in a different styled up. Because what it sounds like, and Devin, if you're still listening, I think he almost bases some of this, maybe the posing, off of cosplayers, maybe.
Okay,
is that right, Devin? Do you sometimes use cosplay models to at least set your pose and potentially the armor? Or this shot here, bud, did you cook up this color scheme on your own? I think you got confused, Nick, because of the weapon. That looks more like
the weapon, and like I feel like maybe I did see some art.
Oh, he's done a Praetorian Guard.
And
we've probably featured it.
And like the black is what kind of threw me off a little bit, like because it definitely isn't the Imperial Guards that you see in the movies, but like the weapon and then like the new armor he put on this thing is just, it makes it pop so much, because if you remember like Imperial Guards in, you know, the original trilogy, yeah, they look cool. They were all red and
didn't do
they had
dick
their
shit, like literally
staff.
nothing.
Yeah. They didn't even move. Like they just stood there by the
and then they
elevator.
like they disappeared behind the elevator. That was it. Like they just like
Yeah,
they slowly walked
it.
away, like that meme of Homer like inching into that hedgerow, right?
Yeah,
where he
into
just
the
like slowly
hedge.
sucks in. Like, I don't want to be
They
here.
saw the lightsabers
Yeah.
ignite and they were like, oh
Yeah, so
shit.
Devin said he'll use his cosplayers as models a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you can see, because the realistic body type that he hits on these,
Right.
and then just like like you said, the difference in what you would see in an Imperial Guard in the movie.
We've seen all red Imperial Guards. Us collectors, and maybe I think this might have come from the EU, but there's been all black Imperial Guards. So now to get the mix, I think it's the best. It kind of breaks up that shock of all just one stark color. But I like having that, you know, like the black face mask and chest plate, but the chest plate and then the helmet's red to really get some contrast going there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a standard beautiful piece from Super Scoundrel.
And Nick,
I mean,
this is another thing. Unless you collect the figures, this is what their armor looks like when they don't have their bathrobes on, essentially.
Okay, so this is actually a better portrayal,
right? Because I mean, you could even get a generic Black Series Imperial Guard, and if you peel back his robes, he's got that body armor. All the, you know, he's got the shin armor on. They are pretty decked out underneath the robes. I love how Devin can catch these reflections. And you have to realize, if you're looking at this, he does this all in vector art real
programs
ass paint.
on
He draws a bunch of fucking lines, right?
Yeah,
bunch of lines, and then has to color it in somehow to make it look like real light is reacting to the surfaces.
Yeah, like those reflections on the top of the helmet, like the little bits of flare that you're getting off the edge of these blades. Everything like that, like everywhere where light plays,
it's
is
crazy.
Where Super Scoundrel goes in to these, like Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, something like that.
You look at this, my brain wouldn't even be able to draw the straight line for the fucking staff. Yeah, so it's like people like Devin. I swear to God, they've made some sort of deal with an entity, be it the universe, the Force, the devil, whatever you want to call it, to be able to do this shit with their fucking hands and minds. It's never going to make sense to me. Any artist at the top, it could be art, it could be programming, because I do consider programming to be an art form. It's kind of the same thing. If you are not wired to do it, you can practice as much as you want. You may get good. You're never going to be great or excellent or beyond that. You might just be average. Clearly, at Super Scoundrel knows what he's doing with this stuff. And the day he gets that big ass glossy coffee table book out, we will review it on the show.
Indeed. So that's the end of our top 5 for this week. Thank you, Super Scoundrel, and all of our other top 5 members for submitting some incredible pieces of art this week. But that's the end of the top 5. That's the end of the show. And then Matt, you take us.
Well, home. I was going to take us home, but whoever codes this website puts interstitial ads on it. So when I clicked on the homepage, a fucking pop-up came up. What a dick.
Oh, there we go.
Who's that asshole trying to make a half a penny? It's me, by the way. All right, people, as Nick said, it is time to put E158 to bed. Hot damn, a 3-hour show. I did not see that coming, but I think we had some fun on this 420. We did which Star Wars characters would get down with the 420. I thought that was interesting. We had the fans join in through the live stream. So, if you want to get in on this shit show, Tuesdays, youtube.com, search for Star Wars Time Show, or as we like to do at the end of a cast, we like to shimmy and shake and bounce our way over to StarWarsTime.net. I'm working on a new jingle. StarWarsTime.net. But once you get here, this is our home base, right? This is where most of our topics will be found throughout the week. You can read them. Not that we write really well, but you can read something or at least look at pictures and try to guess what the words are about. it doesn't matter to us because we will be talking about them on the podcast every Tuesday live on YouTube. Or if you prefer not to look at our ugly faces, you can always catch new episodes on Wednesdays across all the important podcast platforms. We know there are more, but we know these are the best. So these are the ones that we live on. So, like I said, StarWarsTime.net. Say it with me. Play patty cake with your kids. StarWarsTime.net. It's easy, right? Head on over there. You can find all the links you need to find. Follow us on the socials, Instagram. I don't even like saying anymore, but Facebook, I guess we're over there. Who gives a shit? Facebook is the cancer of society. I wish it would die, but I digress. StarWarsTime.net. Say it one more time, people, because there's always time for Star Wars time. Clearly there is when two bozos have now produced 158 episodes after 2 years of existence. If you want to count our back catalog, we are probably close to thousands. And why? Well, we just told you why. There's always time for Star Wars time. And if you listen to the Star Wars Time show, the Force will be with you. All of you, that is. Always.